We are live prospect games day 2. We got 4 more teams debuting tonight. Excited to get this one underway. Whoa. Saw my Discord there. Apologies for that. Got a couple teams here. Doc Boone, Jim Carr, Elias Machera, somebody pronounce that for me. Braden Harches, Billy Bob Buckley, Aaron Hughes, Shiloh Marino, King James II, Anthony Simmons, and Correctional Curator getting the start for these two teams. Why is the crowd so quiet in this game? Hold on a sec. This crowd needs to get hyped. We're hyped. The crowd needs to get hyped. Here we go. Game time, baby. Billy Bob Buckley gonna win the hit back to Harches. Braden Harches over to Doc Boone. Now it's Elias McCarroll. Now back to Boone. Jim Carr, three-pointer. And look at that, Jim Carr. Still the sniper that he was, just a little bigger now. Jim Carr gets the 3 to go. Simmons down low. Anthony Simmons finishes the layup, so a quick start for both teams here. Jim Carr doing Jim Carr things for sure. He's gained a little weight, but I think it's muscle. We'll call it muscle. I need to get into the booth real quick. A foul there on Correctional Curator. Give me 1 second as I get into the booth. Somebody else come in here. Miss free throw. Aaron Hughes has the ball over to King James to the corner. 3 ball off the mark. Anthony Simmons grabs the rebound and 1. Anthony Simmons having a really good start to this one. He's going to potentially put the first 5 points on the board here for the white squad. CSBA with the sub. Appreciate that.
One shot.
Free throw, no good by Simmons. Billy Bob Buckley grabs the rebound. McCarra quickly to Jim Carr. Carr's going to go up with the left hand and finish, right hand and finishes. So Jim Carr off to a really good start with 5 points here in the first quarter.
What's up, Nighthawk?
What is up? We got in the booth Ohio back in here. We talked to somebody else on Ohio yesterday, right?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so we got a bunch of Ohio in here, which we definitely love. How's it going?
Going great. Well, it is all Ohio. So.
Rusty, I love that Ohio is making the appearance here. Talk about the Shaman a little bit as we see some of these games. I think does your player play tonight?
He does.
I think he's in game 2.
I don't remember.
I think
I've had a busy day today. Actually went to a middle school game.
Okay. Right on. King James the second with the bucket there. Did you catch the games yesterday?
I did not manage to, but okay. I think that just goes to show the level of scouting our Shamans have. We're even looking at the future prospects for the season 7 draft.
Absolutely. Shiloh Marino jumping no good. You're out scouting middle schoolers for season 7, huh?
Oh yeah, and it might even be later, but that's things we do here in Ohio. I'm just putting it out there.
I love it. I love it. Doc Boone with the drive, the TTSN drive. The game there is it's 9-6 here. We've had some really good games. They've been really even. You know, Ohio is, who do you guys got? The, 10th pick?
Yeah, we got the 10th pick, so we'll be having the third pick of the second round. So we're pretty happy with that spot there. Feel like get a nice solid core to start with.
Absolutely. Shiloh Marino drains the 3 from the outside there. It's 9-9. Yeah, you guys got a good core. You know, talking yesterday to, I believe Glass talked to us yesterday. So, you know, he was talking about some of the thoughts you guys have. But what are you thinking, you know, from, you know, partial ownership standpoint of, you know, what's Ohio looking like here headed into the draft in about 16 days?
Yeah, we definitely want to find a cornerstone piece, but I think you'll hear that from any owner. But it's so true. We got to find a guy that can really represent our brand well and help us do some of our other jobs, like do social media.
Absolutely, yeah. The more diverse and well-rounded your team is, the better your brand is going to be for sure. You know, what is as Jim Carr misses a 3 there, layup by Braden Harch is no good. You know, some of these guys that are going to be into the draft, you know, talk a little bit about Ohio and, you know, what the vision is for the Shaman.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have 100% faith in KOC. When I first signed on along with 877 and Glass, I thought we were going to be all over this coaching, and I felt bad. A nice shot there, but felt bad for whoever our head coach was going to be. But Kios came in with this vision, and we just gave him the keys, and he's done great. Got to find some players that he would like, some big physical guys that can attack and defend and be versatile.
Absolutely. Correctional Curator hit that 3, and now Aaron Hughes with the flush on the other end. The White Squash jumped out to a 16-9 lead. Timeout on the floor. Good thing. We'll talk through that. Question in the chat was how many rounds will there be enough to fill the roster? Yep. Everybody that's in the Season 1 draft will get drafted this year, so we got to fill those rosters out. So the draft will be 12 rounds, 10 rounds long, 120 picks, including staff members at the back end of the draft. So it will be a lot of fun. We're in 16 days. I mean, it's incredibly close, Rusty, to being here. What do you think so far of the league and how that's been going with everything?
I think it's been pretty fun. I like the way it's organized, just a visual look. We've got some great graphic design. I love the website.
Yeah, the website's done really good. Libertines and Brent have done a really, really good job on the site, getting that thing going. You know, the teams are in place. You know, we got those stats up super quick last night. The content's been flowing in. Everything's rolling really well right now. So credit to, you know, everybody that's contributing, Gish and Pax and, you know, Rylock and Brent, Libertines, and then all the people doing, you know, the stats from the last night game and writing articles. The content's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so it's definitely fun to see, just from a content perspective.
Oh, put back. Oh, that was a little awkward there. Mrs. Hughes gets the ball. Curator down, gets blocked by Buckley, but they're going to call a foul on him. A little scoring drought here from the green team, as hopefully the subs that check in shortly here will provide a little bit of a lift for the team. But, you know, watching the first, you know, 4 or 5 minutes of the game so far, what do you think about the game flow of these Sims?
Shooting 2.
Yeah, I like it. Some good action. You know, doesn't feel off in any way. And it does feel, I know a lot of these guys aren't, like, high overall to be a little meta, but they still seem to have their differences, and see the builds are already going to be very important in how you develop them.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, I think there's a lot of diversity in the builds, and we're seeing it on display. And like we said, a lot of these guys have just upgraded for the first time this week. The second one went out today. They're not going to be, those upgrades are not in these games, but, you know, I think we're seeing a really good mix of players. And last night, at least in last night's game, everybody got involved. Everybody was scoring points, grabbing boards, and, you know, that was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, and having people be able to pick their own tendencies, and not from the list, but the entire list, I think is fun, and definitely adds a lot of diversity, and it makes planning even harder once we get into the scouting and game planning. Yeah,
there's so many options that people can pick for their players, you know, from a signature standpoint and a tendency standpoint, and how they can build their player. And that was kind of the idea behind this all, was you know, to give you a frame to start, and then what you do with it is what you do with it. And I think,
Yeah.
like we said, we're seeing a lot of really cool things with it.
I think the real gold standard here is the nutrition program you guys got.
That's protein. We're
like-
sponsored by a couple protein supplement places, so
Yeah, and Machera here, high on the shaman list.
yeah. And Machera's one of your guys. He'll be with the
Missed the
Ohio.
memo about being built and thick.
That's okay. We need a little bit of a difference in this league for some guys.
Yeah.
Jumper there, no good. Rebound pulled down by Braden Harches, the Pioneers co-owner. As Elias Macheras with the ball here. Kicks it all the way down to Doc Boone.
Oh.
No good on the layup. Aaron Hughes grabs the board. He's going to try to...
Hughes, a guy
Yeah.
seen projected to be taken pretty highly, and I think well deserved with what he gives a team.
Yeah, last night we saw some really good performances. Tonight we got some interesting guys too. Shiloh Moreno's the Assured Fames guy. He's obviously well known. Aaron Hughes has been
Yeah.
around for a really, really long time, right? And, so it's fun to see. And obviously Jim Carr is absolutely known around Sim League. So as he gets the dunk to go there, both teams shooting actually really well. Last night they were shooting around
Yeah.
30% at this point. So this is nice to see.
And some increased offense, but Moreno putting it down, and no surprise there from Assured Fames player.
Yeah, Fame's he's gonna be well wanted. Damian Chambers, another guy here. As the subs check in, we'll get to see some other guys. EJ Bailey, Damian Chambers with
Oh,
the
yeah.
ball. Now over to Joey Phillips.
Oh man.
Chambers three-pointer up top, no good. Rebounded, pulled down by Anthony Stover. A lot of familiar names, right?
Right. And some Stanks in the game. Man, I didn't do my homework before joining the call.
That's okay.
So,
I did it for you.
it's fun to see all
I
the
did
players.
it for you.
Yeah.
Black Dynamite with the layup there, or the turnaround. Anthony Stank, obviously Katie's player, Oakland Otters.
Right.
Now
Yeah. And it's fun
Yeah.
to see them in action and not just in a picture, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite part, too. We've seen so many photos of all these guys. Now we're actually seeing Brendan McGinty over to Black Dynamite. Three-pointer, no good. Brendan McGinty is Gish's player, named after our very own Mac, his real-life self.
Yeah. Okay. I was always a little confused by that.
Phillips with the layup, no good. Fouled by Stover. Yeah, he created actually Mac's actual high school self, which is actually kind of fun.
Good or bad.
I mean, ask Mac. He's probably got an opinion on it. He's got a whole channel about it.
Surprised there's not a Tyler Hoyt out there.
Yeah, there better not be. Better not be.
Take a break. Take a break.
Still a free agent, aren't you?
I will forever be a free agent. You have to pay a lot of money to get Tyler Hoyt out there.
Oh.
So, Rusty, what's been your favorite part about being in the ownership group with Ohio?
Oh, I love the group I'm in. I wanted to be involved somehow, and then when I was approached by 877 and Glass is some of my favorite people in all these sim leagues and my closest friends I've made, and they wanted me to be a partner with them in my home state of Ohio. I'm from Southeast Ohio, and definitely loved the image we got and the
Yeah.
branding and the message we're trying to have and our color schemes and trying to make things a little
Yeah, you guys got
Keep it
some good detail
meaningful.
on those jerseys. I enjoyed making those.
absolutely. I definitely want to try to treat it with as much respect as I can, and we want to definitely have a good image here in Ohio for the Shaman.
Absolutely. Anthony Stank with the wiener gets two to go. Here is Damian Chambers out on the wing. He's going to drive left, kicks it over to Joey Phillips. Now back over to Bailey.
Dank looks like he only works out his arms.
He might only work out his arms.
Other people got their chest and everything filled out.
Stank is the Iron Man. He's modeled after Iron Man.
Yeah. Do we have to worry about heart problems with him
He
then?
might. 3 years in,
Yeah.
might have to, for sure. Here's Joey Phillips. Phillips going to get a screen from a very large man, and he gets the jumper to go. Brohio, more like it. Love it. That's nice. Here's Black Dynamite over to Brennan McGinty. McGinty works to his right. He's going to get a screen here from Stank. McGinty draws two. Nice dish down to Stank for two. And McGinty showing off that vision real early here. Rusty, he's been high on a lot of people's boards too for that vision.
Yeah, and you wonder if he's playing well, especially with Stank. Then I did catch a little bit of the game, and you guys were talking about that. Like, two players are playing well together. Does that raise them their draft?
Yeah, I would definitely look at it for sure and start lining them up on my board maybe
Shoot
in
two.
back-to-back rounds or whatever. And I would look at all those things as Frosty Malone gets fouled in what looked like the wrestling match down there. And wow, the way he dribbles that basketball just proves that that man only lifts every day, all day.
Yeah, we got a bunch of rejected NFL players come here.
Well, we did outlaw the built body type forever after this, or at least for 5 seasons in. So
Yeah,
we will have no more prospects with it.
Gotta go through that Giannis. You know, he was skinny coming in.
That's true. Yeah, you got to build up. You don't come in jacked. But anything's possible in the CS or in Gold Standard. We said that in Gold Standard we said you could be whatever you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. So love that. And definitely like all these interviews and like see what more comes out, explore some backstories. Some wild backstories already, players.
Yeah, absolutely. More to come for sure. McGinty misses the jumper. Here's Damian Chambers, and we're talking about things today like doing press conferences and. You know, we got some more graphics coming out with top performers and stuff. It'll be really cool from a game recap standpoint. But we got a lot of stuff. We actually have them in the nice layup there from Chambers. I think or was that Phillips that hit it? Somebody hit it. Chambers hit it. We actually have more redemptions now in the chat. We have a gear item yesterday for 3,000, and we have a tendency change. We're going to add a couple more soon here. One's going to be a press conference. You're going to be able to call a press conference. In our press conference channel, and the media will show up and cover that press conference, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll have another one that's a piece of content, maybe a graphic that we'll do for your player.
So you can purchase them with your channel points.
Yep. We want to give a lot of options to what to do with your channel points. Since we are on a level field, you can't use them to make your player any better, so we want to make sure that we have a lot of options for those. If Butch Harrison gets the putback.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I love McGinty's socks. I can totally see him rocking that in high school.
I bet Mac rocks them to school like that.
Oh yeah, it still does.
Absolutely. That's how he looks when he coaches football for sure. Philbin for 3, no good. Rebounded, pulled down by Chambers. 20 seconds left here in the first. 27-21. Good high scoring game here. Nice run in transition. They missed him. Here's Bailey. They're going to hold for 1. Bailey's got it, working on the wing against McGinty. 8 seconds left. Bailey crossing over, going to his left, back to his right, gets into the paint. Gonna go up and flushes it home and sends McGinty to the deck.
Oh, get up.
Brendan McGinty just absolutely. Oh, and then he's out of bounds. He's dazed.
No.
I think McGinty is concussed.
Oh my. Oh my! I hope someone's got to clip this whole thing. Oh my god!
Somebody's got to clip that entire segment because McGinty just got. I don't even think he knows where he is right now, to be honest.
Oh. Wow! I think he just went from the top of the draft to the bottom.
Phillips 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Dynamite. That'll do it for the first. Prayers to Brendan McGinty on his absolutely violent concussion there at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Back here to Boise for the Prospect Games. Do you think, Rusty, that he got tired of Gish timing him out?
He might have.
Said, Gish, don't time me out anymore. I'm going to send you to another planet right now.
Yeah,
I need a really good edit of that.
Yeah, I think he just made it so he'll never be timed out again.
Yeah, I might submit that to somebody on Fiverr for a really good edit.
Yeah. Oh.
Pax, give me a good edit. Pax can do it. I don't need Fiverr.
Yeah, he needs to do the song like he did for the other team.
Absolutely. 3-pointer, King James off the front of the rim. No good. Buckley grabs the rebound. Starters back in. Here's Elias Maquera here. Machera. He's going to drive left down low to Doc Boone. Layup up and good.
Yeah, we definitely are looking forward to the Chera. That's what I go with. But
yeah, we'll go with that.
Definitely an interesting build and slim guy and passing as we can see.
For sure. King James, the Vice City owner there. B-Jack gets it down deep and finishes with 2. King James, 4 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals in the game. Nice little stat line for him.
Please, King James is his father. It's King James II.
King James II. We have 2 people named King in this league this year. Jim Carr, I thought he was going to shoot that.
Oh, yeah. I was going to be surprised.
He's not all the way badged up yet, or he would have.
Yeah.
3 seconds left. Carr will shoot that one. 3-pointers up and no good. Rebounded, pulled down by King James. In this product, Rusty, you don't get to shoot those long ones and make them.
He can work on it.
Here's Machera off the screen, zigging and zagging down the lane. Gets fouled by Simmons. Nice little play there by Machera as he kind of bobbed and weaved throughout the defense there.
Yeah. Big Band getting strong. Some of these guys. Chirping with that wristband too.
Yeah, love it.
Looking like a Boston Celtic.
Where was it?
Looks a bit like the Boston Celtics.
Well, this is their arena and their oversave. So if you see some Celtics gear, then that's why.
Okay, I just zoomed out, especially just kind of.
You shouldn't see it
I
in
would
the
just
crowd,
watch
but
the Celtics.
the dancers will be, and there's a blimp flying around that has the Celtics logo on it still too.
Okay, well that's nice of them to let us use their stadium.
They let us loan it. Gold Standard Arena is Boston Celtic Arena, yes.
Yeah.
8:30 left here in the half. Ball down to the post. Anthony Simmons, who started the game really well. Going to kick it right back out to Aaron Hughes. 3-pointer, good. And Hughes climbing some draft boards with his play right now.
Yeah, he was already high up there and is improving that stock. You know, there's
Billy
so
Bob
many great
Buckley.
players.
Oh, Machera for 3. Billy Bob Buckley calling for the ball. So he's going to put some hands on some people. It says feed big country.
Yeah, this draft is so hard to prepare for. The 120 prospects, getting your whole team to be filled out.
Wow. Block again. Billy Bob Buckley's been called for 2 of those. Where I think
he
he
said
got
he's
a
gonna
clean
put some
block.
hands.
Yeah, I mean, he's angry right now, so it might have been a frustration foul.
Yeah. It's so hard, and I know there's going to be some
Shoot 2.
people that are dropped, and we're going to look back at, like, how did this guy drop so far?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying last
Gotta
night.
make sure.
I think that like people in the 4th, 5th round could end up being really good players for teams. So
Yeah. And it'll be surprising, too, what we find out. And it'll be nice to revisit this in a year with some easy content there.
yeah, I mean, being able to, it's advantageous, right, to start from scratch and be able to cover it from the beginning. We're going to see these guys in 4 or 5 seasons in their progression of where they've come. We're going to be able to look back on this prospect game and have some of the highlights from this game. And as Jim Carr hits the layup, but we're going to have some, clips from this and be like, look how far this dude's come.
Absolutely. Marino's hoping he'll be one of them.
Yeah, Marino hit a 3 earlier. He's got a lot of hope. Fame's going to be active, and that's the big thing with this league, right? You need people that are going to make sure. You got to make sure people are getting their progression in. So it's about reliability in this league a lot of times, and I think Assured is very reliable in that sense.
Absolutely.
36-31. 7 for 9 from the line, 4 for 6. Here is King James II. He's going to look for Hughes. Now he's going to find Hughes in the corner. Hughes going to line up another 3 and hits again. So last night we saw Tim Savage from deep. Tonight we're seeing Aaron Hughes. Both those guys are absolute snipers from the guard position.
Timeout.
Yeah. If you can come out the gate as a scorer from deep, it's pretty valuable.
Yeah. Tony had asked during this timeout if we're getting accessories during the showcase or when season starts. If you redeem your accessories, they'll go on immediately as soon as I can get them on, so you have them by your next game. So if you have 3,000 channel points and you want to redeem an accessory, go ahead and do that and DM me what accessory you want. I'll make sure that gets on your player for your following game. I already got 2, so we'll see a little bit of gear. Some of these guys need some gear badly.
So is this, were we able to pick our gear? I don't even remember.
Just the headband.
Like,
And the sleeves.
okay.
Yeah, very limited of selection. We wanted to leave that open to earn a little bit of that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Fadeaway jumper, no good off the rim. Correctional Curator with the push there. Now King James driving in, going up with the left hand. Can't finish. Rebounded, pulled down by James. Gets his own board. Now over to Shiloh Marino. Back to Hughes. Back to James. James going to get a screen here from Simmons. Instead, he's going to pull up inside the three-point line. No good. Rebounded. Grabbed by Simmons. And can't finish, but Simmons has got a handful of rebounds here early in this game.
Yeah. Just couldn't get finished, but something to work on. And that's another valuable thing. You definitely see these prospects, some of them are pretty raw.
Oh, an air ball from Jim Carr. Billy Bob Buckley grabs the rebound. I'm going to say, and I'm going to give Jim Carr the benefit of the doubt right there, that Billy Bob Buckley threatened him to pass him the ball, and Jim Carr said, this is how I'm going to pass it. So he just airballed it right into his hands.
I could believe it. Carr don't pass, he only shoot. But it was a pass.
Absolutely, absolutely. But he's gonna claim it was a pass. So 39-33, here's Curator inbounds to the corner to Anthony Simmons. His feet were not set. Here's Shiloh Marino. Now over to Simmons. Simmons trying to drive. Good defense there. Now back up top to Marino. Over to Curator. 5 seconds left. Long pass to James. James three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Braden Hartjes. Now Doc Boone kicks it ahead to Jim Carr. Carr out on the wing working against Marino. Looks like they want to ISO Carr. Now he's going to pass down to Buckley. Buckley drives in. Layup good. They're starting to feed Big Country a little bit. He called for it.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go dunk on Simmons right there.
Yeah. Could have, but shows he's got a little finesse. You got to be able to showcase that as well.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. The Vice City man is ready to go. Here's King James. The other Vice City man knocks that down. Those two playing against each other as James hits the three from deep.
Yeah, but hey, back-to-back plays by future stars on your team.
Here's Machera. A couple of takeovers lit up here. Carr for three, top of the key, in and out, no good. Billy Bob Buckley with the rebound and the bucket again. Buckley and James are both lit up. Vice City litty in this chat or in this game right now.
It's a shame they're not on the they're not eligible for the draft.
Absolutely. Here is James jabbing his way. Now drives middle. Cuts two. Pull-up jumper good. And right now it's a Vice City affair out here.
Yeah.
Some 13s. Yeah, if you redeem the gear, that is also good for shoes. You can change your shoes and pick whatever shoes you want. The idea actually, Rusty, during this timeout is that you can redeem as many shoes as you want, and we'll have a closet for you, and you can change your shoes before the game if you choose to. If you want to wear your Kobe's one game, you can wear your Kobe's. If you want to wear your Jordans one game, you can wear your Jordans.
We're gonna get some people that are gonna be like the PJ Tucker.
Yeah, well,
Just be loaded with.
Absolutely. Show off that that closet, that shoe collection. I love that.
Yeah. I could already see some graphics.
Yeah, I love that. I love just adding more things, and it's not hard to do, but it adds a lot by doing it. So the ball stolen. King James. McGinty. No, stay away, McGinty. James takes off.
It's a miracle. I know. Shout out to the GSB doctors being able to get McGinty.
Yeah,
watching up.
Absolutely, we got the best medical staff in the world here, or we don't have a medical staff, and McGinty is just stumbling out there. Either way.
Which might explain why he staggered towards the.
I think that was a business decision there, though.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Don't want your draft. You don't want to be ineligible for the draft.
You don't want to be the poster child already.
Yeah.
Here's Stank, pull-up jumper, elbow, good. I love the pull-up game from Anthony Stank.
Okay, good shot by the Stanker.
46-39. Here's Damian Chambers, swings it over to E.J. Bailey. Bailey backs back out. It's a bigger E.J. Bailey than I'm used to. McGinty reaches.
Say that's a good decision. Just can't let Bailey do that to you again.
Absolutely not. Bailey's already got him once.
Yeah.
Frosty Malone. Haven't mentioned his name too much yet, other than the fact that he's absolutely massive.
Yeah, I can't get over these giants out there.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Nice dish down to Harrison, and Butch Harrison throws it down hard.
Love that great pick and roll action. Slam.
It's Black Dynamite now over to McGinty. McGinty drives to his right, kicks back over to Stank. Stank now back out to Buckley, and Bailey is like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to foul you. And Buckley wondering what the fly was on his arm.
Yeah.
Buckley's going to inbound here to McGinty in the corner. McGinty going to drive, goes in off the glass, and good.
Okay.
So it seems like he's recovered.
Yeah, good.
So the other cool thing is you see the stat down there where they say their points per game and totals. I'm actually going to be able to edit that so it'll be accurate when we play the game. So
Really?
the stats will be updated for the games as Bailey lines up a long three and hits.
So he can dunk and shoot from outside, big and strong.
That is somebody I'm
can
looking
do it.
at, right? Inside out,
Yeah.
all around. Here's Buckley. Buckley says, "You ain't passing to me. I'm just gonna dribble this thing out here." Kicks it over to
Yeah,
Dynamite.
show off his ball handling skills.
Absolutely. Black Dynamite gonna get a screen from Jerry Philbin. Dynamite pull up jumper, good. Both teams shooting extremely well in this one.
Yeah. It's these kind of like all-star events or prospect games. You wonder, do I need to be a team player or do I just take every shot I can?
Yeah, I think we got a good mix so far for sure.
Yeah.
Here's Chambers with the ball. He gets over to James. James working back to his left. The paint is clogged up. James going to pull up anyway and hits. King James has had a great game so far. You see the stats there, 13 points in 14 minutes, 60% shooting.
Yeah.
He's vying for the high point total here in the prospect game so far, 21 last night by Savage.
And it's only the first half.
Philbin lines up a three, no good. That's a guy that also can stretch it out a little bit. He's a big, but he can shoot the ball pretty well. So if you're looking for more of an outside big, Philbin might be the guy you're looking for as well as Chambers gets fouled.
Sure, and we know he's a active guy. He got a lot of experience in these sim leagues, so Philbin's definitely a target. And say all these names, I mean, both these teams feel like everyone on here could be the top 20 picks.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's actually a really fun feeling to feel. Just like to see
Yeah.
that when you just can't really predict it because it makes it hard.
Yeah, Lord, I don't know how these content writers are doing it.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Checking in is Stover. Anthony Stover, another guy we're used to the name, right? We've heard about him.
Yeah.
Chambers off the front rim, no good. We said this yesterday in chat too, or in the stream, that free throws have gotten neglected a little bit in progression, and we're seeing the effects of that a little bit.
Yeah.
But given in a progression league, like I said, it's going to turn into now guys are going to be able to identify, what areas they need to improve in after seeing their guy, which is the whole point of the prospect games, right?
I had to make a designated free throw shooter.
Something like that. Phillips going to line up a long three. No good. Rebound pulled down by Philbin. It was a long range one. Is Stank going to go one-on-one, trying to get to the basket, gets fouled. Can't get the bucket as Phillips picks up his first foul. And Anthony Stank will go to the line for a couple free throws here.
Yeah. Moving out to Oakland, probably personally financing the Otters, really.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. The look is pretty good, though. I do enjoy the look.
It is pretty good.
We got some characters. Tim Riggins last night had an absolutely great game. Tony with the gear redemption. Go ahead and DM me, Tony, which gear or shoes you want. It is good for any piece of gear. Finger band numero 1. Got it. He's going with the finger band.
He's going to want that Jordan leg sleeve.
It might help him shoot a little better.
Yeah.
Tony got off to another front rim free throw. Tony got off to a little bit of a slow start in the game yesterday. He finished well. I think he still had 14 points. But he had a couple disastrous, but funny, very funny segments. EJ Bailey off the screen. Got the roller. Tries to go to the pass. Dover got his hands on it. McGinty comes up with it. Green team running here. Running McGinty to the corner. It's Black Dynamite. Dynamite back up top to McGinty. McGinty working to his left. Looking like they want Dynamite off the screen. They got him. Black Dynamite, top of the key. No good. Ball tipped and grabbed by Harrison. And we'll see what the white team does here. They'll likely hold for one, but they'll have the luxury to go quickly, and they get the foul. Almost a well-executed 2 for 1, but Green will get the last shot. But Bailey's going to go to the line. And McGinty's had a little bit of trouble defending that bigger point guard.
Yeah, I think that might just be a problem for him. That's not his strength, I don't think, when you're looking at him. You're looking at his passing, his scoring ability rather than his defense.
Absolutely, which he brings a lot of that, right? I mean, he's gonna pass it well. He's gonna.
As we've witnessed, his highs and his lows already.
Super Gremlin, you could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. Bowman. If you want colorways on your shoes, you can get colorways. You just got to tell me.
Some good barbers out here. Haircuts.
You will get a haircut. I haven't added that one yet, but there is a haircut one.
Yeah, I'm planning on that. I gotta see my guy progress.
Yeah.
Through time.
I'd like to see some beards grow during the season.
Yeah. Yeah, playoff beards.
Playoff beards for sure. I'm going hockey up in this. McGinty got fouled there, so McGinty. There you talked about McGinty's ability to get to the line and score it and pass it, and what he lacks in size, he's quick and he can get past a lot of these defenders, which in a league with a lot of big dudes and some slower guys at the bigs, McGinty's going to find himself in a lot of opportunities to get to the rack.
I definitely think he's got a pretty good role on a team if you can utilize that talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to make another form for the gear, so you guys can DM me. I already have too many forms out there.
Appreciate that.
McGinty at the free throw line, free throw off the front of the rim. We've seen a few of those tonight. A lot of people are going to be using this next progression on free throws.
Yeah.
Bailey three-pointer at the buzzer, no good. Rebounded by Stank. It'll take us to halftime, 55-45. We'll see some highlights here. We'll see the top performers from the half in just a second. Let's take a quick one. We'll be right back. A little bit of stats at the half. You saw Aaron Hughes getting up there for the dunk. Doc Boone there on the layup. King James with the jumper. Jim Carr's hit a few threes tonight. Anthony Stank. Billy Bob Buckley, good little mix of all of our people there. As 2K doing a really good job. The camera crew, see the halftime report. Stank with 10 points. King James 13, 3, and 5. That's a really good half right there, Rusty.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't expecting all that. Jeez.
13, 3, and 5 is he's entering triple-double watch territory right now. And with 10-minute quarters and the way that coaches can kind of run their rotations, I think we'll see some triple-doubles in this league. So it'll be interesting to keep track of that as another stat.
Absolutely, but I think I'm going to go ahead and drop out.
Awesome.
See, you got a new guest here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate Ohio jumping in. Rusty talking about his shaman. We got the raccoon in here.
Don't run. Just get here.
The raccoon has entered the building.
Can't say it like that. Or maybe say it like that.
What's going on, Coco?
How are we doing? Great to hear your voice, Rusty. Always a pleasure. It's always great to spend time with you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
And with that, Rusty's like, I'm out.
Yeah. Shaman train.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Rusty. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Raccoon, the raccoon himself, with the Seattle Orcas in the chat. What's going on, buddy?
How are you enjoying tonight's prospect games?
It's going really well. Again, I think for the second night in a row, the games have been really good and tightly matched, and we're seeing a good mix of some talent out here. What about you guys? Are you guys watching closely in Seattle?
You can see the poster and then the pass out of bounds. So it's been noted. Boards.
So you crossed
Boards
somebody
have
off
been-
your board already.
Yeah, they have been adjusted correctly.
Yeah, but I'm glad that he is healthy and back. I
So-
guess you can call it that.
I'm here to to talk about my Orkers and give some my infinite wisdom as I always do.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about Seattle. What do you guys got going out there?
So it was originally started by my little baby boy Ted.
Yes.
His brother, who is lesser of a man because Ted fed off of him in the womb. Legion. I was approached by them to GM a team, and I have a blood oath for them, so of course I couldn't say no. And then we started to look around and find a coach, and we were lucky enough, of course, to perhaps see that too. I think a lot of the people in this league know. So it's basically 3 coaches in a rec room in a locker room. That's the setup of our organization.
I love the backstory of the organization. You've done a great job raising your twin boys.
I have. I'm a big papa.
Big Papa.
So-
Jim Carr hits another 3 there. Tell me a little bit about what kind of players you guys are looking for in Seattle.
But by the way, Jim Carr, excellent job. We are in the 3rd, and you haven't even broken a sweat yet. So,
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Conditioning level A+.
Stamina king.
He spent all his progression on stamina.
So, really, it's really funny to watch how owners and GMs approach this league compared to what we have in the past and what we're typically used to. Because in many ways, we're still approaching it in a way that we think of people as delicate little butterflies.
Yeah.
That we are always continuously going after them, and that is something that's kind of going to even out and leverage itself out as the league progresses and goes on. You're going to have 10 spots on the team, and as we transition through the seasons, you're probably not going to see much turnover between those teams. You may see 1 to 2 spots free up. So it's going to become more of conversations between players, owners, and GMs of, okay, who wants to play for us, and who do we want to build up in the franchise. So it's been interesting to watch because we're still kind of in that college mentality that I think many people are used to. And it'll get us through the draft. But for the Orkers and the players that we look for, I'm not going to make a list, and I'm gonna tell that to owners and GMs right now. Is granted, I have a list, but it's not going to be like a very short list. I'm going to pretty much look at the expanse of all the players that are in this league, because when the draft comes, you're not going to get what you want typically. What you're expecting will not always happen, and that's how it's going to go down the majority of the time.
Yeah.
That's what drafts are. You see it in the real world in drafting. They have all these contingencies and conversations with the players, but there's 5 different people talking to them, and
Right.
even the players themselves don't go where they think they're going to go.
Yeah, that's the big thing that I've been talking about with these mocks too. A lot of people are, obvious connections to a lot of teams, but I think we're going to see some of these guys go places that we never would have thought they'd go. And I think, like you said, I think that during the draft, if you got a game plan B, plan C, plan D, right? I mean, that's what you got to have during the draft.
Yeah. I mean, because the thing is, it's like if all of a sudden there's a run on players, right? And all along you've been saying, okay, I'm taking you at number 2. I'm taking you at my 2nd pick. in the second round. And all of a sudden, there's 6 picks coming up to that spot for a different position, and all of a sudden that position is starved for players. And then you pick, and then the teams behind you also need those positions. Well, then your whole mentality towards the draft has to change.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting too what you talked about with, where we've been in a lot of sim leagues, and especially basketball leagues that have been collegiate, where we're chasing guys a lot of the times, and it's just a different mindset now. And part of the reason why we did it this way and have the model we have is it's something different, it's something new, and I think we're seeing a lot of excitement around the fact that it is different, and people have to have a different strategy and mindset.
it is, but it's funny because you see some of the same things
Shoot
play
two.
out that you see in other places.
Right.
I think it was Ty. Like, I think Ty was talking about like sending out to players like 1 through 5. And man, Ty, I appreciate you and I love you, but I hate questionnaires. When teams send out questionnaires, it absolutely kills me, because it's like it feels like it takes out some of the personal.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel as personal. And like I know teams that do it and teams that don't. And it works for teams. There's teams that I appreciate that do it, and they get their players, and there's a retention there. But it's just funny. You see these things occur, and it appears through different leagues and different programs over and over again. That even if intentional or not, they're gonna come out no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favorite things is just going to be like the diversity between the brands and the ownership groups, and like you said, there's going to be groups that do it one way and then groups that do it a completely different way, and it might work for both of them, right? And that's part of the fun is kind of building that identity and that brand, and that's what you guys are going to be known for. So what does kind of Seattle want to build as far as that brand and that identity?
I mean, for us, it's when I've always said to like the start and stuff when it comes to what we're going to look for in terms of sponsorship or anything behind that. First, I need the league to establish itself, because I need to make sure that for me
Shooting two.
personally, anything that I put my name behind, I need to make sure the product's there.
Yep.
So once the league is there and I make sure that the product is good enough, then I will stick my name behind it and then go out and approach things. For us personally, I mean, monetarily wise, I think we're set, but there's other causes or things that I would like to bring into the league. A lot of people at first are going to look for businesses and things to help pay for dues. If I have ways to do that through personal relationships that I already have set in place, then I may look for other types of advertising space, things like charitable work. Of course, there's many different whale foundations that are out there, and those are the types of things that I'm probably going to try to implement at first with the Orca organization. When it comes to our players, I have a very set way that I work with our players. I think that's why the Sterns chose me, is because they see how I approach it in other places.
Yeah.
I bring in my players and I support them. I take a back seat. I don't like to take a lead role. I do whatever I can to make sure that they're the faces of our franchise and what they need to do to succeed.
I love that.
And I want,
Timeout.
if we build a team and I build it with a certain set of players, I feel like there's a relationship there that over time will weave together and will be set.
Yeah, I know we talked about it last night. It's kind of some of the strategy of being in a pro league as opposed to a college league where almost locked into stuff, and just kind of the different strategies. And you kind of stress the importance, having the experience that you do in the SFL, and but being able to talk about how important those relationships are with players, because being able to keep your team intact is going to be really important.
Yeah, and everyone's going to have a different way. And that's even during these games. It's really fun to see how how different owners and GMs have set up their players and the tendencies and badges they've taken in order to help their teammates and players succeed in the best possible way.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the diversity that I've seen as far as build badges and just overall gameplay. I think we're going to see a lot more as people start to figure out what they like, but a lot of opportunities for just a ton of different looks throughout this league. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about having the freedom and having the options that we have in building our players too. So.
That's true. It only takes one Mike Coca to break the barrier, then it's all downhill from there.
That's true. Well, you debuted last night. Talk to me a little bit about Coco Raccoon's debut.
It's exactly what I wanted. I think Ted sent me a picture. He's like some role player. I think I had 3 rebounds and 1 block, and I was like, that's all I need.
That's what you built it for.
I was like, I do not want to do anything. I just want to sit there, block things, and rebound things.
You've had your time.
Yeah, it's time to let somebody else do the work.
The Mike Coco show is over. The Coco Raccoon show has begun for sure.
Yeah. I can't wait for the Stearns to play.
You got to be the garbage man though, for sure. You got to clean up the boards.
That's yeah. This is true.
You're gonna rock the Raccoon name. You got to live up to it. I need 10 boards a night from Coco Raccoon. And enter people's houses.
And I really hope you've done it. I have to say thank you. You've done a lot of work and a large amount of work in a small amount of time, even just to get these games up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what we've done. Obviously, I have a great team around me with all the admins that we brought in and all the people that have helped, including yourself, giving you guys some advice on stuff with your experience, and you guys like Evo and all the owners that we brought in. So, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of work with those guys. And girls have done a ton behind the scenes and probably don't get noticed enough, but it's a team effort in a league like this to get it going, and I'm just glad that we started talking about this in August, September, and now we're here, which is it's pretty surreal. Last night was pretty surreal for me seeing the product on the floor, so I'm definitely happy about what we're seeing, and it's only the beginning for us. I think there's a bright future here for TSP.
Was it the amount of work I said I was going to do?
What's that?
Was it the amount of work I said it was going to be?
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. I didn't disbelieve you. I trusted you. I knew what I was undertaking, which is why we started it back in August, September, because I knew we had a lot of work ahead of us. But I think we did a good job taking our time, making sure we had our ducks in a row.
Take a break. Take a break.
The structure and foundation was there. So.
Yeah, the team did a great job. So
I appreciate that.
And I see we got other people on the channel now, so I'll do what my good friend Rusty did.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you hopping in, talking about your Seattle Orcas. Definitely looking forward to it. I've known the Stearns for a long time and known you for a long time, so I'm definitely excited to see what Seattle does in GSP, and appreciate you coming on anytime you want.
And if you want to be part of the Seattle Orca basketball crew, or the SOBs, as we like to call it, reach out to me.
Absolutely, reach out to the Raccoon.
I messaged you.
Okay. So, all right.
Check
See you
your
later,
DMs.
buddy. Mitch in the chat, but also Hubba in the chat. Joker's owner. What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
We're hanging in there. We're just getting some prospect games. You've been able to catch some of them?
I've been able to catch like the fourth quarter of like all of them
Sweet.
so far. This
Right
is
on.
the most I get to watch.
Well, what do you think so far? We're 3 quarters into this one. What do you think about the games and how they've gone, and just the different builds we're seeing out here?
They look great. It's kind of interesting to see the speed amongst all the players, kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, there are some bigger dudes coming up. I know that there's a 350-pounder in the next game, and he is not very fast. So, but yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, it's pretty much in the middle where the speed hasn't affected too much. But I think that's part of it too, and I think I like that about it was that I think people are going to start, seeing maybe where they can exploit that a little bit too. We don't have a lot of small guards in the league. McGinty's one of them, and McGinty's pretty fast. With a dunk right there by Black Dynamite. We do see a lot of athleticism and a lot of big dudes, and but we're seeing some specialized guys too, right? Like we see Jim Carr in this game, who has shot the ball extremely well. We saw it with Tim Savage last night. We saw some guys finishing under the rim too. So there is quite a bit of diversity. But anything?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Jokers a little bit since you're on. What's going on out in Vegas with you guys?
Oh, we're getting set up, interviewing our guys. It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process you want to fall in love with, right? I mean, it's awesome to be able to talk to so many different people and get your guys when it comes down to it. It's 16 days till the draft, Hub. I mean, how important is it to have a really good draft this year?
You know what? It's important, but I mean, there's a long game and there's a short game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're dead on with that. And I love that approach that it's that yes, it is important to have a good draft, but the wait, you're playing that game where we want to be contenders 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road too, and build a franchise, not just a one-year wonder, right?
Right.
So tell me, a little bit. Let's tell these guys a little bit. And what's the Jokers team? What's the Jokers franchise all about?
Well, the Jokers we're really trying to create. I once complained in another league about teams being cliquish.
Yep.
And I kind of want to go ahead and just create a Jokers clique. That's fine.
Yeah.
I want to get a bunch of guys that are in it to win it and in it to win it for the long haul. And for the long haul being the more important part.
Yeah, a clique in the pro league is a completely different, I think, in this model. You want those guys to really enjoy being Jokers, and you want them to really enjoy the city and the fan base and the community, because it's only going to make you stronger. So we've talked, and I was talking to Coco about it just last night, about how important it is to really retain your players, because of the way that the sim leagues work. Guys have the freedom to get out of situations if they don't like the situation they're in. And it's your job as staff and owners to really, build something really special in your cities and build your brand up so guys want to play there.
Yeah, and I've noticed a lot of guys think there's a lot of guys and gals, are kind of pressing emphasis on activity in chat. And that's good to be active in chat. But for example, nobody in my staff is what I would consider hyper active in chat. Right. Like, we're active in our own locker room, and we talk to each other. But in chat, we kind of seem dead.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's. I'm sure that's what it seems like from the outside looking in.
Well, I think too that activity, maybe more so for players that are in the draft too, that are available just to get their name out there, kind of promote themselves and stuff. That's a good thing for them. I would agree with you that activity is important from the sense that you have to be reliable to get your progression, and I think that's more important than activity, is being reliable, right, and engaged.
Yeah. Like, I've been in, a lot of people don't know that I've been in sim leagues for a long time. So I've seen
I know you have.
Where, it's a lot of things come into play as far as recruiting the right guy or gal.
Yeah.
The right person. They're, for example, where they are in their life right now.
Yeah.
Are they about to start college? Had guys that were super active their senior year in high school, real life high school, right?
Yeah.
Summertime comes by, they're like, oh, I'm going traveling. I'm going to college. Freshman year, kicks them in the ass. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But the next thing you know, they haven't been on the server in like a month. six weeks.
Yeah, that's
Next
a
thing
really
you know,
interesting. That's a really interesting take too, because you're dead on. If you're playing the long game like you should be as GMs and owners, you're wanting to invest in people long term. And that's an excellent point there that I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, a lot of factors come into play. You know, there's a lot. It's a lot to think about and consider. Which is, I feel like, why clicks in leagues are there. I mean, because you got a core of guys that you know you can depend on.
Right. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I think it's really important to have people not only that are reliable but marketable, and like I said, I would replace the word activity with engagement, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. It's more important, I think, to be engaged in the team and in the community, in the product, than it is to necessarily be hyperactive, posting every 5 seconds, which we love. We do love our hyperactive chatters and the chat being live all the time. That's awesome. But personally, if I was a GM, I'd look for more engagement than that, right?
Yeah.
So.
And just having genuine conversations, It's like it's one thing to market yourself, but I think teams, at least down the road, are going to want to know who they're drafting as a person.
Right. Well, that's also a really interesting take, and we talked about this on yesterday's stream as part of this whole thing. And when I talk to you as an owner, you understand my stance on it is we want to get to know people more so than just who they are on the screen, right? Like, we really want to invest in people and understand the backstories and where they come from, and all that. And I think I took an opportunity to get to know you owners pretty well, kind of where you're at in life and things like that. And we want to do that with our players. Like, what thing we're trying to build here is more than just a sim basketball league. It's a community, and we're trying to reach out into the community. And if you're trying to do that, I think that having players that you and can have a conversation with and have a relationship with is really advantageous.
Absolutely.
So, what else about Vegas, man? I mean, Vegas is a hot destination. I mean, that place is booming. They don't have a NBA team yet, but I mean, there's a really good opportunity, one for marketing in Vegas, but also it's just a hot destination where we could see ourselves really hosting a lot of events.
Yeah, man. Speaking of events, I've been really wanting to get a group of people out here for the draft.
Right.
Wanted to set something up. Even, obviously, this short notice would be an unofficial sort of thing, right? But just to kind of get a bunch of guys together, even if it's not all jokers,
Yeah.
Just get a bunch of owners and draftees, potential picks, in a room, at a pretty cool,
Yeah, I think
Vegas destination,
And we also talked about that too, right, with you and owners, and that we want to do that as a league and, have events, whether it be the draft or championship weekend or whatever, and be able to have a bunch of people in a room and enjoying the product together and getting to know. The big part about that is getting to know each other and we'll do person interviews, not necessarily player interviews, and, we'll talk to a bunch of people in the community, and we want to grow this community as big as we can. And to do that, you have to reach out and be personable to people and understand, and have that relationship with them. But I think, Vegas is one of the locations that we really will see ourselves and definitely will be visiting very often. We definitely want to visit all of our locations where our teams are, but Vegas is very high on the list for obvious reasons, right?
Absolutely. And then hopefully Miami next.
Yeah, I mean, we have some really good cities, right? I mean, you talk about the teams that we have in the league. I mean, Miami's a really hot destination. Even Seattle would be a really good time being a big city. Oakland, I might not step in Oakland, but we'll go to San Francisco maybe. We'll go right outside the bay.
Oakland.
We'll have the Otters are going to have to cross the Bay Bridge for us. But,
Right.
I mean, traveling around and, holding it in different places allows other people to attend maybe that they couldn't attend some of those other ones, but it also allows us to see new places, us to experience new things together, and, at the end of the day, it's what this whole thing is community. I mean, we all have real lives outside of this, but it's a place that we can come and just hang out together and enjoy each other's company. And, to a sense that it's, yes, we like competitiveness, and yes, we want to win and do all this, but we also just like being around each other, right?
Oh, absolutely, except for glass.
That's the other part. Love that. I mean, the rivalries between and the ownership groups are just awesome. You guys have been around so many sim leagues. I mean, talk a little bit about ownership around the league. I mean, you've known all of these owners for quite some time. So I think the owners that we brought in, the ownerships that we brought in, is such a competitive group and really going to get this league started off really well.
No, it's interesting. And it's my problem in every league is the people that I've connected with in all these leagues at some point in time are all coaches in other leagues or owners in other leagues or owners in this league. So it was kind of funny in the beginning when I was trying to find a staff. Because I was originally, my thought was to step out of my comfort zone, so to speak, and just make a completely new franchise, start from the ground up, so to speak. But then everybody that I would have approached was an owner or a GM already.
Yeah, which is by design for us, right? Bringing people in that we know are going to do a really good job, that we know are going to be reliable. I said that before, and but now it's a really good opportunity for owners and you guys to get to know some of these other people that maybe we don't know as well. Some of these guys in these games that have been around some sim leagues, but maybe we don't know them as well, or even some new guys. Like there's even new guys that I see that I'm really not familiar with, and I've been in sim leagues for 5-6 years. So it amazes me how big, how little the sim community is, but also at the same time how much room it has to grow.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're really looking forward to growing the whole thing and reaching out into avenues that have never been touched before.
Right.
What do you think about the game so far, man? I mean, you've seen a little bit now watching it, game flow, all that stuff. How's it look to you?
Game flow looks good. And there's a lot of sleepers out on the court right now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it with multiple owners, right? The picks in the middle rounds can end up being really important from a sense that you can get an absolute steal in the 4th, 5th round with how some of these guys are, and being on a level playing field too. We talked about maybe guys in the 5th round end up being your best player at one point.
Yeah, and that's kind of the cool thing about everyone being kind of starting off level, right? It's like, you might get the guys that you know in the beginning, but come final round, I mean, you're absolutely right. You could end up getting your best player.
Absolutely, nice dunk there by Josh Boone. 16 points for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited just about the mystery of it all. Like something about the draft just fires me up from a sense of like I don't have any idea what's going to happen. We see a lot of mocks, and you can guess all day, but I have no clue. And I really enjoy that aspect of the draft, where I don't even know, who teams are talking to, and I really don't want to know. Like, I love that you guys are holding interviews, and I love that people are interviewing players and talking to them behind the scenes, and I love just the organic nature of seeing that unfold.
I'm watching this game right now. I got a funny story.
Yeah.
Not really funny, but an interesting situation regarding owners and staff members.
Sure.
I remember reaching out to recruit Doc and Earl in another league. And I believe that might have been their first league, their first sim league.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep on.
And then I proceeded to invite them to their first basketball league. And I felt guilty about it. I was like, it's another league. I don't know if this is breaking the rules, or if this is like, I don't know what I'm doing here as far as, is this rude? And then they ended up in all these leagues making splashes everywhere they go.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to have that backstory and sad that I'll never be on the same team as them in any league.
Well, we love the competition between the two, and it's funny, like you say, it's funny how things unfold. And as Bailey hits a jumper there, it's funny how like things just organically do that, because you talk about them. When I was in my first sim league, my first recruit ever was Ty White, was Superwoman, and so just being in sim leagues with her throughout this time. It has been absolutely wild, and I actually recruited Wired in a football league, and he obviously didn't sign with me, but just how those relationships can bloom just from a conversation, right? Like even something as simple as recruiting them, you're getting to know people, and you end up just kind of doing life with them outside of that, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up Wired, because I've been going back and forth in my head on if I want to recruit Wired or not.
Well, you don't have to recruit him in this league. You have your choice. It's yeah, I mean, Wired's been around. He's going to be reliable with all that stuff, and obviously things to think about with his busy life and stuff like that. You talked about that earlier, and it's about finding the right fit, but. Obviously, guys that are well known to the community are going to be front and center, at least at first. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't recruit him. Screw that guy. No, I'm just kidding. I love Wyatt. Doing a great job over there.
I'd like to see someone write an article about.
Oh, nice dunk from Stanford there.
Look that. Write an article about potential busts.
Absolutely. We need to get an insider to write about that for sure.
Ooh.
I mean, that's what media is all about, right? You got to have that bad boy media. Somebody's got to be writing the stories about the bus and be the Stephen A. of the league and all that stuff. We're gonna have some fun content, man. We have a lot of cool ideas with shows and stuff we want to do, and I think the part I love the most so far, Hubba, has been the embrace, like how people have embraced the product, and not just from an ownership standpoint. I've been talking to you guys since November, right? So October, November. So you guys have been around it for a while, but even just people coming in, brand new people are embracing it. We have a bunch of content that comes out every day. I just think everybody's doing such a good job with it, and it's really I can't do it on my own, obviously. You guys as owners have done a great job. Staff members have done a great job. Players have done a great job, and that was kind of the idea. You might tell me if I'm wrong, but when we talked about it, that was the whole premise, right? Was to get buy-in from everybody, and we kind of build it from the inside out.
Absolutely, and big shout out to the content creators, man. They've been really kicking tail on this, getting stuff out there, quality content. Good stuff.
Yeah, the content's been really good. Guys behind the scenes have got stuff up and running really quick, really well. Guys that work on the website, Libertines, Brent, have done a really good job. Gish got the stats up really quick last night. Props to him and his stats team for doing that. Everything's rolling really well right now. And, it's just the beginning, like I said. Like, GSB is absolutely going to blow up, and we're going to keep continuing to get better every single day. That's the goal, at least, is to always get better every single day, and never get complacent, so that we can make sure that the product is the best out there.
Who's your early prediction for the final?
Oh God, that's too hard, man. That's too hard. I don't even know who's going anywhere yet.
You know all the coaching staff, though.
I do know the coach. I mean, but I brought on all the owners, so I can't be that biased. I mean, I brought all you on because I brought you all on because I think you all can win a championship. So, I remain neutral. I'll remain Switzerland in this one.
All right.
I would love to see it, but I am very excited to see who emerges as the champion at the end of the year, but also who builds a dynasty and who, builds this, this Spurs kind of dynasty or this Lakers kind of dynasty. To where we're talking about them year in and year out, and they figured it out, right? Because in a league where it's so close and so with everybody being on a level playing field, it's really going to come down to it's going to come down to things that are, not necessarily stand out, right? Like the conversations, like you said, the team builds, the coaching, the staff, like it's really going to come down to very little things.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that about this.
With players right now, especially controlling their own builds from the beginning, that's an interesting aspect of the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, full control, full control from players, or mostly full control.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely is. Well, let's take a look at some of these stats real quick while I got you on. 80% from the free throw line. That's the best we've seen through 3 games so far. 45% is also the best from 3 we've seen in 3 games so far. So that team, they put up 103 points. We haven't seen that yet. So a really good scoring game for them. We're going to see a lot of that too. And that's the other thing is with teams being so close, like things are going to come down to 1 or 2 things in the game as well. And I don't think we're going to have many blowouts in this league just based on, the equal talent that's going to be around. Look at this stat line, Hubbard. 19, 5, 6, and 6 from King James II. Obviously not in the draft, but Vice City looks like they might have a problem on their hands, huh?
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
That is a huge stat line for sure. He'll find his name probably on top performers tonight. Correctional Curator also at 18 points. That's a draft eligible guy. That's a big game from him. 2 for 4 from 3. Hit all of his free throws.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, hit me up for sure.
EJ Bailey 17 points. Aaron Hughes with 10. Shiloh Marino with 9. Butch Harrison with 8 and 8. Marino also added 6 assists from the shooting guard position. That's nice. Simmons with 6 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple assists. Damian Chambers with 4. Phillips with 3 and 2. Frosty Malone with a few rebounds, a couple points. So good performances. And most of these guys are actually draft eligible. Actually, this entire team is, besides King James.
Dang.
On the other side, Jim Carr, good old reliable Jim Carr, goes 3 for 8 from 3. He's going to be a volume shooter, as he is everywhere. And you know that. You've coached him, right? So
I actually have not.
Did you not? You weren't there yet. Oh, that was Percy was
No.
there before you took over. Yeah.
He abandoned me.
He did
sir.
abandon
He
you. Screw you, Jim Carr. No, I'm just kidding. 20 points from Jim Carr, 3 assists, 3 for 8 from 3. 18 points, 5 assists from Doc Boone, 17 and 5 from Elias Machera. Those 2 guys, obviously, Michigan and Ohio. Black Dynamite with 11. Anthony Stank, the Otters owner, with 10 points. Billy Bob Buckley, 9 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Vice City staff member there. Jerry Philbin with 8. Brennan McGinty with 6 points, 3 assists. Absolutely got postered earlier in the game. I don't know if you caught that one. It was, yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll see the highlights of that one flying around. It was not good. Stover had 4 and 8. Harches 0 points, but 10 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Obviously, Portland Pioneers co-owner. But things like this, Hubba, where you're looking at not necessarily guys that could score, but how do you affect the game in other ways? Obviously Harches is taken, but if this was a draft eligible guy, that's somebody you got to look at and have on your board just based on the sheer volume of rebounds he's pulling down.
For sure. I used to tell people all the time, especially when I was recruiting bigs, like the most important stat in the game of basketball to me is rebounding.
Yeah, for sure. And you can get guys to pull down a lot of rebounds. And when you can get, Buckley at 12, but when you can also get guards that can pull down rebounds, that's a big, big advantage too. So, the more well-rounded you are, the better you're going to have a chance in this draft. But I appreciate you coming on, talking about Vegas a little bit. We're excited to see what you do out there and with the community out there. I know you're already in action with the Vegas community. You've been a part of that, ingrained in that community for a long time. So we're excited to see what the Jokers do. And 16 days, you guys are going to have your first ever draft pick for the Las Vegas Jokers. How you feeling about that?
Confident.
It's gonna
confident. We know who we want.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to call the names of those people day one and see the joy around the league and with some of these people. Also can't wait to see some of these guys that get taken in the middle rounds and play with that chip on their shoulder with the statement to prove. A lot of storylines that we're going to be able to make out of this draft, and I couldn't be more excited. But I do appreciate you coming on and telling us a little bit more about the Joker franchise, and we'll definitely be hearing from you soon.
Don, have a great night.
How about with Las Vegas Jokers signing off there? I'm going to sign off for this game. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going to turn the stream off. We're ready to roll for Game 2 coming up in about 5 minutes. So I'll put the start screen back on. We'll roll the clock in a second here as I get the rosters ready, and we will be ready to go. Don't go anywhere. This is the Gold Standard Basketball League. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here. Game number 2 of the night. Prospect scouting games here. I believe Superwoman's back in the booth with me. Ty, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
Ty back into the booth. Had a game off. Ready to roll again.
Yeah, I was playing Call of Duty and
Love
came in
it.
a little late. So,
Love it.
plus we got to hear a lot from the GM. So,
Yeah, we did, which is awesome. Let's talk about the starting lineups a little bit. Justin Banks, Nick Hill, Rashadi Ish, Al Pedraza, Jim C. Williams for one of the teams. I'll catch the other names here in a second. We're going to have an absolute mammoth of a man in Jim C. Williams right now. His nickname is the Giant Ty, and for good reason, as you're about to see.
finally, this is why I wanted to come in here too. I wanted to see this 350-pound man.
How does he look in all of his glory?
Oh my gosh. Like the dude off of the green bean. Can.
It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Jim C. Williams never changed. Ant Thomas now with the ball down low. He's going to spin baseline. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Justin Banks. Kicks it ahead to Rashadi Ish.
Wait, who guy is that?
Which guy? Jim C. Williams?
Yeah.
That's Fun Is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now it's Justin Banks. Going to get a massive screen from Jim C. Williams. Evan's going to clear the rebound. Now it's Ant
Oh
Thomas.
my gosh, slow he is.
He's slow. A charging foul on Ant Thomas.
Another one.
As Ish steps in and says, yes, sir, I'm going to take that charge all day.
Fun is unlimited.
We've had some Fun is Unlimited. Fun is Infinite. Wait, I have no
Or
idea
just
who.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did put that whole thing in
He's
there
got the
about
infinity symbol,
him.
yep. Justin Banks with the ball is going to come with a screen from Al Pedraza. That's Pack's guy. Justin Banks, RNT's guy here with the ball in the mid-post. 8 seconds left. Kicks it up top to Hill. That's Nick Hill. Nick Hill drives in. Somebody tried to take a charge there. I'm going to call a flop
Yeah,
on
he
that
did.
one.
That was Bismack.
Bismack flops to the ground. Appleby Evans grabs the rebound.
I want to see him dunk, man. He put all them points in that.
Well,
Gotta get to the
first he turned
basket.
it over. Here's Hayes, and Hayes down to Bobby Bricks, and Bricks throws it down for the first 2 of the game.
Bobby Breaks already put a thing out in chat about being a top prospect.
As long as he doesn't have to shoot the ball and break it, right? I mean, shoot it from underneath.
Oh god.
Here's Ish for 3, no good. Rebounded, pulled down by Hayes.
I just like how Bismack hair flows in the wind.
Bismack needs to up his
Look
ball
at it.
handling. Yeah, his hair is wild. Bobby Bricks assaults Rashadi Ish right there.
I don't know where Williams went. I think he went into the crowd though.
He's slow. He's very
Did
slow.
you see him?
He went into the crowd. He's like, I'm out.
So I even making my way down there.
We talked about last game with Hubba about how the speed hasn't looked to be too big of a difference, but we're definitely seeing it with Williams right now and how slow you're going to be if you're that big, right?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, but he's definitely gonna be a beast. So I wouldn't want to go up against him.
Absolutely. There are some strong men in this league, Hunky. Yes.
I heard you had a maybe get a sponsorship for one of these.
Yeah, we're gonna
Protein
get
companies or
somebody, some
something.
protein shop, and some maybe NutriShop will sponsor us.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe somebody. I think Jim C. Williams might get a personal sponsorship from one of them.
For real. You need a whole
He is funny,
contract.
man. He runs so funny, and he just runs like a giant, right? He's got the perfect
Yeah,
movement.
you do.
2-1 start here. Last game, Ty, it was 103-96. It was actually a really high
I
scoring
did.
game.
I was watching that. I was like, oh my gosh. I had to watch my guy, KJ2. He was putting on a show.
Oh, he
for
killed
real.
it. Actually, Buckley killed it too. I mean, Vice City was
Yeah,
putting on a
he
show,
did.
but KJ2 was
I'm-
absolutely insane in that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy with.
I think he
Yeah,
had
they're
19, 5,
productivity.
6, and 6.
Yep.
Oof, that's a crazy stat line.
Ready to see my guy. But I'm on Team 12. Go Team 12.
Tomorrow
Can't
we'll
wait
see.
to
We'll see. We'll see your guy tomorrow. Hayes with the rebound and the putback.
Yeah, it's a good mix of guys out here. You know, just really interested to see. I seen the lineup, so I was like, yeah, this looks like a good group to scout.
Yeah, it is a good group for sure. Bobby Bricks, one of those draft eligible guys, gets fouled by Rashadi Ish. Ish, obviously, B-Mills player, so Portland Pioneers co-owner there. But there's a lot of talent in this this game for sure. And I'll make sure I'm calling out, guys that are protected or guys that are eligible for sure.
Yeah.
For the entire crowd.
I've already went through that list and was like deleting people. I'm like, man.
First
so many
time
people
chatter in here
already
too.
taken.
Ty Zima Blue got a player
Oh,
in the
what's
league.
up?
We'll see
That's,
Zima tomorrow, I think.
Saint,
Maybe tonight.
right? Ain't that Saint
Which one?
Zumba? Isn't that Saint?
No, that's Zima Blue. Zima Blue has a player in this league. There's a player named Zima Blue here. I believe that's Zima Blue. Yeah, it is. Based on the name, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Ant cold already. Hey, they got the #1 pick. They can do whatever they want.
I mean, he got a charge already.
He did.
He probably was like,
He's
I
like,
give
I'm
up.
out. Jim C. Williams into the post, spins baseline side, now goes back. Whoa! Tried to dunk it. His hand got caught in the rim. Jim C. Williams.
What the world?
Insane. Ant Thomas finishes the layup on the other end. I don't even know if he jumped off the ground.
Yeah, somebody need to clip that and figure out what happened there.
There's been some awesome animations, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it is. I was about to say, I know that name.
For
I
sure,
know my
for sure.
Iowa folks.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's St. Maximin. Yeah. Zima Blue. In this
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
Al Pedraza misses the layup. That's Pack's player. Here's Ant Thomas. To the corner. Bobby Bricks for 3. No good. Bricks that one. Libertines
Living up to his
player.
name.
Absolutely. Here's Nick Hill. Sorry, that's Banks. Banks over to Ish. Long 3 for Rashadi Ish and drills it.
Ooh. It was smooth too. It wasn't just like a regular 3.
Absolutely.
All through all the way.
Here is Ant Thomas. Thomas going down to Bam Bam Hayes, San Antonio Stampede owner. It's Dylan. Bismack to the lane.
There he is.
Hey, that was a good take from Bismack right there.
Bismack, he trying. He's like, I already know. That's why I put my points in. I'm trying to dunk.
The Cambodian Canadian. I don't even think he knows where he's from, but
Yeah.
if you read about his journey from Cambodia, it was quite the read. I encourage
Yeah, we
everybody
already-
to read it on the
We
site.
already got on him about that. But if you guys know Bismack, that's typical.
Absolutely. Libertine said he took a 0 3-point tendency and he still bricks them.
Oh,
you
God.
can't not shoot threes with that name, man. You can't.
Nah, you gotta live up to that name.
You got to have a couple a game.
You gotta pull a Stern out.
Absolutely. Bismack hits both free throws. 10-4 game here early. About halfway through the first quarter, we're going to see some subs here in a second. Here's Nick Hill, one of the first prospects created in our league. Nick Hill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Justin Banks drops the deuce there, 10-6. Here's Bricks. Bricks to the corner. Thomas now. They want Bismack to get that standing dunk.
That's what it is, man. He's setting up the screens for everybody, but can't get it duped to him.
Banks with the steal, goes behind the back now out to the three-point line, guarded by Bam Bam Hayes.
Man, these two look like twins out here, Hill and
I know,
Banks.
they are identical
I'm
almost.
like, wait a minute.
And it was bound to happen from somebody, right? It was bound to happen from somebody. I think that was Banks with the 3 there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That was
It
Banks.
like
Hill is
Hills and
0, Banks is 11. So timeout on the floor, 10-9. We're going to see some subs and some new people dropping in here into the game. In my world, drop a deuce means something else.
I thought that when you said it, I was like, I ain't gonna follow up with nothing
love it.
on that because I'm like, I'm gonna just let that go.
Bobby Bricks
Maybe
drops
nobody heard it.
Bobby Bricks drops a few of them out here. So we'll see the subs checking into the game now. Josh Young 2.0 into the game.
Oh.
That is his
Let's see if
name.
he can
His
do
name
it
is
from
Josh
here.
Young 2.0. As he is checked in. Cherry Jello, the apparent brother of Lamont Jello from the CSBA.
Oh, he's still fancy over
He's
here.
still
Their whole
fancy.
family must be fancy.
One of my favorite names, Rowdy Rhodes, with the ball now over to Dubstern, and Rowdy Rhodes just demolishes somebody on a screen right there.
That's the one thing that's been crazy so far is everybody's been so dramatic with their falls and
Absolutely
getting
love the
knocked down.
animations.
Yeah.
They're so fun.
That's been
Backdoor
crazy.
Jeremiah Prophet with the layup. We're used to the Prophet name. That's Rampage's player.
Mhm.
Used to seeing a big, tall Rampage.
I know. I'm like, I was thinking he was gonna make that 7'3" guy.
Absolutely. Sada Baby with the ball. Sada Baby with
Sada.
a layup. The Detroit native, aka Dick Dickey's player there with the contact with TTSN drive up the game there.
Yeah.
In his free time, he is a rapper.
Is that his backstory?
It's got to be. I mean, he's modeled after Sada Baby the rapper. So
Yeah.
here's Justin Banks. Drills the jumper, the pass from Luke Boudreau, the Dallas Flying Stallions owner, Pizzo. Here's Dubstern. That's Legion over now to Josh Young 2.0. No introduction.
I can't believe y'all pulled that off with the 2.0. I love that.
His name's great. Cherry Jello now with the ball. Gets stripped here, gets it back. Jello with 1 second left, shoots the jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Jeremiah Prophet. Banks with that takeover's got a lot of time here as Boudreau gets fouled by Josh Young 2.0. He sounds like a robot.
2.0.
Josh Young 2.0.
2.0.
Sada Baby in the stream. What's up,
Hey.
Dickie?
He must have had his ears burning.
He must have
Talking
heard him ringing
loud.
when Sada Baby went to work in the post. Luke Boudreau at the line. First free throw up and rattles in and out, no good.
Oh.
Cherry's going to get a lot better. You know, the good thing about not being great in the prospect game is there's a lot of room for improvement.
I gotta say these past couple of first quarters kind of started off a little rocky, and then all of a sudden these teams picked up.
It's true. Not the last game, though. It was like 27-21 at the end of the first.
Yeah, they were going crazy.
Yeah, they were going for sure crazy. Here's Dubstern with the ball. Used to seeing Legion as a big man, too, and he's taking the guard role now. Here's Rowdy Rhodes. Rhodes over to Jello. Jumper no good. Rebound pulled down by Prophet. Now over to Justin Banks. 2 minutes left here in the first. Banks driving in. Gets fouled by Jello. So Justin Banks will go to the line for a couple. You know, we talk about people that have stood out to us, Ty, and in some of these games, some unexpected standouts. Justin Banks has done that for me today.
For sure. I mean, I got him confused a little bit with Hill, but yeah, he's definitely standing out. He's pretty fast off the break and got good ball handling skills. He's draping over them for defense. You can see Jello having a little bit of difficulties because of him. And yeah, he's definitely standing out for me.
Is it a good thing that Hill looks like him? Because the way Banks is playing, Hill might be rising up some people's draft boards too.
People might have been like, I thought you were the other dude with the ponytail.
They're gonna draft Nick Hill because they thought he was Justin Banks.
Yeah.
You give him some of that contract money.
Yeah.
14-12 game. Here's Cherry Jello with the ball. The French native. Now over to Josh Young 2.0.
Jelly.
Dub Stern. So you
Gotta
really
say
do
with
like
her
the name
French
Dub Stern.
accent.
Josh Young off the screen. 3-pointer. Up and good. Young 2.0. Just like his 1.0 counterpart. Scoring the ball. 15-14 here. Timeout. So, Ty, you've seen now 3 games. This is into your 4th game. They've all looked really good.
Yeah, for sure. It's been so entertaining. Like I said before, These 10-minute quarters just go by so fast. You be wanting more, and the game's over. And look, good still there from Jello.
Still from Jello. Jello's got some defense. Nice kick to Dub Stern. 3-pointer. Good.
Hey,
So
see,
Jello
this is
might
exactly what we were
not be a
talking about.
scorer, but the steal to the assist was real nice.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It takes them a minute to kind of heat up and get in the groove, and
For sure.
all of a sudden it's doing something else.
A couple new
Oh, there
subs into
go.
the game. Perry Pinkard and Ernesto Romero III.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of Ernesto
was
Romeros.
big too.
Jello with the drive and finish. He's starting to settle in a little bit. There's two giants in
Yep.
this game, Ty. Ernesto's another 350-pounder.
Wow, yeah, he looks big too.
The way they run
Look at
cracks me up. I'm not gonna lie. Jello with another steal.
Never.
He's starting to go right after. Again to Stern. Can they do it
Almost
again
got
from
it.
the corner? Dub, no good this time.
Oh,
Those two will never be on the same team, but that is fun to watch right now.
yeah, that would have been crazy if they could get together, because that connection is fire right now.
Luke Boudreau down to the lane, goes up and gets fouled by Young. You see the way he drew that foul? Put his arms out right in front and said,
Yeah,
just take
he
my
did.
arms off, Josh Young.
He really drew that one because he had him wide open at the top of the top of the 3-point line.
Pizzo got that draw foul rating up, huh?
Yeah, see.
Stern was already moonwalking off. Yeah, he was a little too confident on that three. He hails from the Stern line, though, so can you blame him? Banks
He
going to
was
take a
trying
seat.
to do it back to back.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Boudreau missed the first free throw at the line.
So their whole squad got like row at the end of their names, right? Because Marvin.
Yeah, they're the
No.
O's. Yeah, the Mitro brothers,
Mitro.
Boudreau, and who's the other one out there?
Milton,
Jello.
Marvin. Oh, Joel.
It's Cherry Jello. Yeah,
Oh,
spelled a little different than the O, but
Oh, okay.
same sounding.
gotcha.
Yeah, B Harp's out there in Dallas as well. That's a really good staff out there.
Yeah, that's going to be lit.
Perry Pinkard, the first ever actually built recruit in GSB was Perry Pinkard. There's this trivia question. There's a
Oh.
trivia question for everybody out there. As Michael
Gotta keep
Bryston the
that in
third hits the
mind.
jumper. Bryston's actually gained a ton of muscle since he has come into the pro league. Josh Young 2.0 with 2.0 seconds. Jumper no good. Romero grabs the board, and that takes us into the first quarter. 22-18. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Gold Standard Basketball. Back here in Boise for the prospect games. I don't know, Pizzo, did you guys plan that? Did you guys plan the names? 22-18. Sada looking decent. Way better than Dickey. Way better than Dickey.
Oh,
Ty, what do you think about the first quarter so far as we get the nice little Gold Standard cut there?
it's been pretty fast. I mean, we had some great steals, some good 3-point shots. Enjoying watching these big men go up and down the court barely, and yeah, it's just some great showing.
So funny moments with the big men for sure. Jim C. Williams got caught under the rim, which is pretty funny.
I gotta say, we got a lot more defense in this one than we had in the last matchup. It looked like everybody was just shooting threes.
I could change it to Jello if you want. I could change it. 22-18.
He
Yeah,
said
no
he
more
couldn't
college
do it.
diets for sure. People are eating these days. They're eating well in the pros. Here's Rashadi Ish with the ball. Now over to Nick Hill. Hill looking for a long-range jumper off the rim. A couple times rebounded by Bam Bam Hayes. Jello was on Bismack. I thought he
Oh,
He
come
didn't
on.
dunk it. Bismack, he's saving something to be desired, right? Like, I can't show you it all that early as the TTSN drive of the game there.
Man.
We're going to have to look at his dunk package.
Yeah.
Does he have a 66? No, yeah, he has a standing dunk, I think, a high
66
standing
drive
dunk.
dunk.
He should have stopped right before the rim.
It just jumped up.
There's a
Just
standing
like
dunk
that.
from Al Pedraza.
Yeah.
Pax player. That's a draft eligible guy right there. Al Pedraza dunks that one home.
is.
The Iowa City native now down to Bam Bam Hayes. Hayes goes up against the absolute giant of Jim C. Williams. Now it's Justin Banks. Kicks over to Pedraza. Pedraza looking to get going here in the second. Back to Banks. Banks done a majority of the scoring here for the green team. Williams drives in, goes off the glass.
Him.
Zero touch. I think he almost broke the backboard on that layup.
Man, he was definitely taking that. I mean, granted, they kind of got to run their plays before he even get down the court, but definitely a beast.
Yeah, Bobby Bricks knocks down the jumper. 53% here for the white squad. 39% for the green squad. Williams trying to do everything he can just to force it in there for a layup, but he is showing the behemoth that he is right now.
He is. He's very athletic for his size, for sure.
Bobby Bricks misses the layup. Here is Justin Banks. Quickly ahead to Nick Hill. His twin. Nick Hill into the lane. 2 feet, drops down, goes up, gets fouled by Ant Thomas, so Hill will go to the line for a couple
He
here.
said, no, not in my house.
I can't believe Bismack has a standing dunk rating that high.
He crazy.
That's going to be funny when he actually gets one, though. I think we're all going to go absolutely crazy.
Pizzo.
What's going on? I heard y'all were asking about the team and the last names there, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about the last names a little bit. How'd that come about?
Well, that's just part of our story of our players. You know, we hail from New Orleans, most of us, and that's just the way that the names are down there. So with the EAUX at the end for the O. So we got Boudreaux and the Metro Twin Tower brothers, and we happened to come across Jello on a trip to France when we went to go play some basketball out there. You know, the last name isn't exactly the same, but you know, he's still part of the family with us.
Phonetically, it is the same.
Exactly. So we rolled with it.
Bismack misses the three-pointer there. I love that. I love the some of the storylines. You know, we got the Lock family out in Memphis, and one for Banks there. The storylines that are going to come out of some of this stuff is really, really fun, and you know, it makes Dallas a little bit of who you guys are for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all just feeding off of the backstory of Pizzo, the owner, being from New Orleans originally, bringing a little bit of my New Orleans heritage and background to the team here.
Yeah, for sure. You've caught some of these games. I know we talked yesterday a little bit, but you know, watching more of these games and now watching your play a little bit, you know, what have you seen here now that we're into our fourth game?
Dude, it has been so much fun. I wasn't able to catch too much yesterday. I caught the games tonight. Saw the first game. A lot of threes flying last game.
Yeah.
And I think, Ty, you called it out. There were like 51 threes shot last game. Something ridiculous. Really high scoring. And in this game, you know, we see a lot more defense. We've seen Jello, you know, being one of those guys that getting a few steals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with y'all, just laughing at Bismack, laughing at the tree trunk trying to run up and down the court.
Oh, absolutely love it, man.
This has just been a ton of fun.
It's so much fun seeing all the different personalities and all the different builds. Like you said, like seeing guys like the Giant trying to run down the court and just looking like the guy on Happy Gilmore, right, when he's running after Shooter McGavin at the end.
Yeah,
that is that guy right there. That's the same exact run.
Now that
I'm
you
going to have to put it side by side. But we're all about fun here, Pizzo. You know that. And we've talked about that since we've been talking about ownership back in September with you. And I think that the community's done a really good job embracing the entertainment aspect and just having a ton of fun with it.
Yeah, back when you and I talked about this concept and the idea and all back in September, we had no idea what it would turn into, of course. And just seeing it all come together now, and I think some of the owners and GMs from the prior game even called it out. Just with the writing crew and the graphics crew, the stuff that they've been coming out with is just fantastic. Like, it just brings this league to a whole nother level. And so just having such a good time with it all, and that's what we wanted to do from the start, right? Is just build that community, and like we can see it coming together already. It's just awesome to be a part of. I think the hype with the draft coming up just makes it even that much more exciting. So there's a lot going on here, a lot to be excited about, and personally, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people don't know this, but you were one of the first people I talked to, outside of like some of the admin. But we've been discussing this league, since September, and seeing, like you said, absolutely no idea what was going to happen. All we had was ideas on a paper and, a business plan, and, we had zero idea what this was going to look like. And just to see it in fruition, I got a little bit, it was surreal for me yesterday seeing the games and, seeing the product for the first time. But I think to your point, what we wanted to do, I think we're achieving that. I think we wanted to build the community, and it was less about watching the game as it was hanging out, right? Like, the game is awesome, and it's fun to see and hang out with each other and watch your player. But I think that if the focal point of your league is the game itself, I think that you're not going to have a very successful league. And I think we're doing it the right way, where the focal point is just being around each other and reading content and building community and just being here during the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And even in the last game, you were talking about how you've known each other for so long. The two of you were talking yesterday about how you were recruiting Ty back in the day to start off, and how everybody, all these relationships that have formed. Even for me personally, you and I got to know each other being on the same team in another league. I just found the sim community a little over a year ago. So I'm really just getting my feet wet and just trying to understand everything that's going on. It's taken me a while to, learn about everybody and meet new people, and I'm still meeting people. And, as part of this draft process, I'm starting to do some interviews as we prepare, and I'm loving getting the chance to talk to people that I don't normally talk to. I've never really played with or against in other leagues. So it's been awesome just kind of getting to know each other. And I think the key word that I heard you use earlier was experience. Like, this is an experience. Like, we spend so much time interacting with each other, just day in, day out. We're in the chats, we're watching these games together, we're joking around in our locker rooms, and it's just an awesome time that we're having together. And so again, the level of community that we're building here is something special. And so it's awesome to be along with this ride. And we're building some bigger, better things to come as well. So it's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, obviously, a little bit of the inside stuff of what we're planning, more of that to come. But, obviously you've talked to me long enough and known, my biggest thing is I want to be better every single day and make this thing, a better product every single day that we wake up. I want to be better. And, I do ultimately want to build the best sim community there is, and not only the best sim community, but bring light to the sim community as a whole, because I think there's so much growth to be had in sim sports that, even though you're only a year in, I've been around it for 5-6 years, and the growth that I've seen in 5-6 years, back when I started, there was only a couple sim leagues out there, and now there's a ton of them. So, I mean, the growth that's already happened, and I think the growth that still has yet to happen, it's absolutely insane. Like, to your point, like, you've talked to people, like, you went and visited the esports arena down in Frisco, right? And they had no idea what sim community sports was.
Yeah. So I know we're peeling back the curtain a little bit here with this discussion, but I'm out here in the Dallas area. There's a big sim league community. There's a big sim sports team that's partially owned by Jerry Jones, and they have a spot right near the Dallas Cowboys training facility. So I took a trip there, and I made an appointment and met with the guy. He showed me around the arena where professional esports teams train. And so I just took a look at the place and started talking to him about our league, and talking to him about what we do and what we offer, and just kind of getting our name out there and getting that brand out there. And it's really cool to look back on as we're kind of reflecting on the conversations that you and I have had. I remember very early on, I was asking about the business plans, and we're trying to draw everything up. Like, you just flat out told me, we will not fail. Like, we are going to make this happen, and I will make sure that we will make it happen. And from day one, like, you and I had started having regular conversations about this thing. And when we finally got to the point of, creating teams and ownership groups, I was there from the jump. So, like, I'm like I said, I am a newer guy to the game. I am super appreciative to you for bringing me along with this, because, like, I'm with you. Like, there is just so much growth and so much opportunity and so many new experiences to have here, that it is definitely an exciting time.
Yeah, and I think that, the relationships are such a big part of sim sports. And, you see Sniped again in the chat saying that, Tyler recruited me back when I first started, and I've known Snipe forever as well. just people that I've known forever. Feels like you know, like Ty can attest. Like I was barely married, didn't have a kid, right, Ty? I mean, I was like what, a 28-year-old dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Long hair,
known
no
each other,
kid.
long hair, no kid, like brand new in sim. Like I've known you forever, and I've known a lot of these people for a really, really long time. And you know, we talked about that. And Black Pie I've actually known longer than anybody here. Because we go back before even Sim Sports, playing Madden together. So, yeah, I've known, and I think that, you know, the type of person that I am was I want to build relationships with people, and you know, I think that that's coming to fruition. I've built so many relationships with a lot of these people in our league that you know, I think that, you know, they're people that we wanted here. People that I know that we can build community around, and it's obvious it's working the way that I envisioned it. I think it's working the way that you envisioned it, right? Like when we've been talking, and I mean, it seems to me like you know, what we wanted to put out, we're putting out, and it's been awesome. And that's a credit to the community. It's zero credit. You know, I don't want to take any of that credit. I mean, the team around me has been great. The owners have been amazing. The community has been absolutely awesome. I think 1 through 122 that we have players signed up right now. Has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah, we're absolutely all in, and you know, talking about that community, even with my staff, with the Flying Stallions, you know, I've got Kay as my GM, B Harp as my coach, and I talk to these guys daily. Like before this was even an idea, I was talking to those guys daily, and so it's awesome to just have something else to kind of talk about, and as we get to know each other and we have a better understanding of not just what's going on in all these leagues, but we hang out and we talk about just what's going on generally in our lives. And you know, I've found so many other good take there. We found just so many other people in their streams, like, and even with Ty, like I've followed some of Ty's streams, like with the UFC and Modern Warfare. I've caught a few of them, and Mears with what he's got going on with TTSN. Happy to be a part of that as well. So just seeing everybody kind of do their own thing, and just, you know, getting to know and support one another as well. It's just such a cool community, just a good group of people that, you know, it's awesome that we've all found something to kind of bring us together here.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point too, as Pinkard gets the layup down low. Good pass from your guy Boudreaux on the wing there. But I think that we could get caught up sometimes in, you know, the same community that we can get really competitive with our product, and, you know, not want anybody else to be anywhere else. And I think that's doing it wrong, honestly. I think that, you know, we're stronger when the same community is together. And if we want the same community to grow bigger, it's only going to benefit everybody's product, right? I mean, like, there's guys that really love football. Like, obviously, we're not a football league, but if we can bring awareness to sim sports, they're going to be able to find the ECFL or the SFL or whatever that it looks like, right? So, or CFX. And, you know, there's so many sim leagues out there, like I said now, that we could really bring a ton of awareness to the sim community and really grow this thing if we actually just work together and, you know, be supportive and promoting of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if for those of you following me on social media out there, and I'll give myself a plug, _, on Twitter, like, you'll see me comment on other leagues. Like, they're not necessarily leagues I have other players in or I'm involved with, but I go and watch their streams every once in a while, and I try to follow what's going on, and they've got a lot of cool people, a lot of good things going on in their leagues. And yeah, you show them love, they'll show you love right back, and just exposing them to the awesome community we have here. Let's get more people involved.
Yeah, I mean, there's no saying that you can't be in multiple communities, and I think it's one thing that we're trying to actually build, you know, for the future, is have just a community of sim leagues, to where we're just here and it's a giant community, and you know, I think our product's gonna speak for itself. I'm not even worried about the competitive aspect of that, because we gotta hide it from people. Or like keep people here. Like, I think that we're gonna just do that organically based on how we're running things, but we also just want to, you know, bring that awareness that other people and content creators and people are doing a really good job in this sim community with their leagues. And you know, like I said, if we're showing other people support, like you said, if we're showing other people support, they're going to show it back, and that's how we grow. So, and Pax wants to plug follow GSB on Instagram. We need more followers. So I think we have our socials on the website. If you guys go to the website, actually this command works now. I
Hey,
can't
did you
test it.
fix the commands?
A
Come
test.
on,
Look at
man.
look at Ty.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check out our website, GoSandersonBasketball.com. Stats are already up from last night. Great work by Gish and his team, his stats team, to get those up. They were actually up less than an hour after the game, Pizzo. So what a phenomenal job by them already. The content's been amazing. Definitely check out the website, and our socials are on there. So
Yeah, I
make sure
did
you
the
check that out.
second game stats in like 2 seconds because Libs and Gish made that
Take a
great
break. Take a break.
Oh
template,
gosh,
and
so easy, right?
it's so much easier. Like I literally I have 2 screens. I got the stats on one, the sheet on the other, and just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know what
And
Ty's
it's
talking
easy.
about, they optimized the sheet basically to follow just in line with what the stats say, right? So it's just, you just type it right in. So, I mean, great job on the stats. I think Funness did the other stats, if I'm not mistaken. But got them up super fast. And Pizzo, that's just kind of a testament in beginning, you know, when we were talking as well, as, you know, my big thing was bringing people in that are reliable and that I can count on. And, you know, everybody's done that to a T so far, from ownership to admin to even the players. It's, you know, we wanted to build the buy-in from
Fun
within,
is
and I think
infinite.
we have. Fun is infinite. Yeah.
Definite, infinite, both. Yeah, look, the admin team that you built here is definitely it's a tremendous team, and as much as it pains me to compliment Gish, like now that he's getting into the stats game, as we got games up and running, you know, him and everybody else, like just the stories coming out, the graphics, all of it is just so slick, and it's just so professional. Like the universe that we are building here,
Absolutely.
it's so cool. And you know, we talk a little bit about the social media stuff, like. Yeah, we can go promote all of our brands. We can promote our players using the social media and these cool graphics. And so it really is taking things that we've experienced in other sim leagues to a whole nother level.
For sure. Nice block by Bam Bam. Hayes Bismack with the dunk there. That's not his
Hayes
dance.
Bismack.
Got his dunk there. Yeah, like you said, I mean, like, I want to shout out my team, and I always will. Rylock, you know, does a ton behind the scenes as being the commissioner of this league, and obviously his head will pop out a little bit more as we get going and have some stuff to take care of. But he's done an awesome job since, you know, I talked to him back in August about this. So he's done a great job. Pax has been an absolute superstar with the graphics. I also want to shout out Cheetah, who has helped with a lot of those graphics as well. He's not part of the admin team, but he's done a phenomenal job with those. Gish, obviously, with the stats. You know, Ty and, you know, Fun is Infinite did the stats last night. Got a really good stats team. We haven't got a chance to see the announcers yet. For the most part, Ty's one of them. But we have a really good broadcast crew as well that's going to do a really good job. And then the two people that are probably most behind the scenes, Brent and Libertines. What a phenomenal job on the website. Phenomenal job, you know, getting this thing going. And the site is absolutely beautiful. It's my favorite site. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I think, you know, as we're looking at other leagues, I think that it is set a standard for, you know, professionalism and content for sure.
Yeah, that website is a differentiator for us versus all the other sim leagues. And again, like, you don't want to make it competitive. We're all going to be supportive of each other. But that first time I pulled up that updated website, I couldn't go away from it. Like, I just kept, there was no content on it yet, but it was just so slick. Oh, wow.
Another charge, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen a few of those.
And I think that it's just, again, like, I don't know about you, Pizzo, but like growing up a sports fan, like I was always on like NBA.com or like MLB.com, and I'm always looking at the site every single day, like for stats and updates and news, and, you know, just being a sports fanatic. And we wanted to build something very, very similar to that, where you can go on and it was like news, it's going to hit you right in the face, right? And I think it does, and I think we achieved that with what we have. That you can find everything really easily. The player stats and, you know, team pages are going to be up after the draft, and but when you go on, it's like there's so much news that you could just read, and you could sit there literally for an hour and just read all the content that's coming out. And that's just such a testament to people, you know, writing the content. And there's a ton of them that have already submitted content, so I'll link them as a whole. But
Gish is in here.
Yeah, Gish is in the press
Yeah,
box, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to be timed out.
Gish has joined. Gish, what's up, man?
What's up? I missed myself getting dunked on earlier.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I've seen the clip.
Not only did you get dunked on, then you stumbled out of bounds and got a turnover right after.
Yeah,
Concussion
that was
protocol.
rough moment early in the career.
Like we were headed into Ty's UFC league for a second there.
Yeah, it was a Tua moment, definitely.
We don't have enough money for medical staff yet, so I don't know how that happens. Like we're just flying by the seat of our pants here with medical stuff.
Absolutely. I'll just say moments like that are great for me.
Oh, they're priceless, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and being able to, that's going to be
the content. I'll take it.
the edits that are going to come out of that, and the content that's just going to come out of that one moment is just hilarious, man. Like, and that's what it's about. I mean, it's about the content, and it's about, and you've been with me a long time since the beginning too, as Pizzo, and what was the one thing I preached was just content, right? Like I wanted to get that out more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the stats games, I can tell you the stats for game 1 are already completed and ready to be uploaded on the website. So
Who did the stats for game 1?
You did a great job.
Who did it?
Let's see. Today it was Talani who did game 1.
Who was it?
Bad screen.
Talani.
Talani. He does
Not
stats better than he plays
Talani
basketball,
showing
though.
off.
Talani
Yeah.
ready. Talani's here. He ain't ghosting. Not GSB.
Talani's showing off. What?
You might want to double check Talani's stats. Make sure
He
they're
gave
accurate.
himself 25 points.
Yeah.
So that's the rule. Talani is not allowed to do his own games.
He added in here that I got dunked on. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Did they already have a clip of it up, Gish?
What?
Is the clip already up of you getting dunked on?
Oh yeah. It's
Oh,
already
that's
clips
good.
and highlights.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Oh,
you know
within
it's
a
in
minute,
there.
it was up in the chat.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. My favorite. When we get one day I just want to do an instant replay of it.
Yeah, Savage put it in general chat. and told me
Amazing.
not to watch it, so I immediately watched it. Of course.
So funny, man. I mean, that's just the stuff that makes these leagues so good, too. It's just, those moments. And when we could pick out one moment in a game that just makes us laugh for probably a week and a half, probably. It's going to be fun. And, when we start to do shows, and Ty's done a bunch of shows that are, very similar to, like, Sports Center stuff, and we start to do shows like that. And, having some of those highlights or bloopers and stuff is going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, we've got Pax's guy, missing easy putbacks, so he's getting some.
Yeah, Pedraza's had some moments as well. I mean, Jim C. Williams had a moment where he tried to go reverse dunk and absolutely just demolished his
Yeah,
arm inside the rim. I'm surprised.
His giant hand couldn't get through the rim.
I'm surprised he didn't just
Maybe
break off the
somebody
rim.
clipped that
I'm
one
surprised he's still
already.
there, honestly.
And somebody has to clip that.
Yeah, there's fun. I mean, the more, me, I'm a clipper, so I mean,
Yeah.
I love the clips. It makes.
I gotta say, he's impressing me with his ball handling skills.
You said it
Look at
earlier, like
him.
how athletic he
Yeah,
actually is for
yeah.
350, and he is.
He got a steal there. He came off a screen on the earlier possession.
Like
So he's got
he
some
runs
moves.
he runs an 8-second 40, but he is pretty athletic otherwise.
We had a foul out yet? Because that's.
We
that's
haven't.
4 fouls
We
on
haven't.
Evans.
I think we'll start to see. Oh, it's 4 fouls right now, huh?
Yeah, 4 on Evans.
Okay. Appleby Evans with 4. Rusty was in here earlier.
Yeah, we've seen a few charges as well, which
Which
is
is awesome.
really interesting to see now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that there are charges and they're actually really cool looking charges and not just like flop charges. Actually, some of them might be flops, but
Yeah.
Ty was commenting on how dramatic some of the fouls are. And
I mean, the
I'll
one
say that
earlier was-
23 has done a really good job with the sim engine and the animations and how people move. It's been a lot of fun to watch that.
Yeah, the one that happened right when I jumped on the street and was just running a guy over, so.
That was probably yeah.
I think there's been 2 in this
That was
game.
yeah in the beginning.
We had 1 in the first game, Ty, I think, and then we haven't had
Yeah.
one until this game, but we had 2 in this game.
Yeah, because Legend had asked, he was like, "Has anybody got a charger?" We're like, "Nope." And then here it comes in this one too.
Yeah, for sure. 6 fouls in GSB, 6 fouls, Pro League. 10-minute quarters. You'd have a lot of people fouling out with 5, I think. But Gish, what about you, man? I mean, you watched some of these games. What have you thought so far?
I just like how smooth everything looks. And I mean, I was actually talking with Katie.
Especially what
about this
Bismack is doing right now. That is smooth.
earlier. Okay. I'm talking about the game, like the game engine itself.
Yes.
Feels smooth, but I was talking with Katie earlier. Like all of these guys are relatively low overalls, but the level of play, especially in yesterday's games, I don't know how today's been, but the level of play in yesterday's games was pretty high. I mean,
Yeah. Well, you know that when I tested the sliders, so I'll give everybody kind of the process of how I tested the sliders. I tested it on absolute maximum first, 99 overall. Everybody just absolutely loaded, and the play was actually really good. And
those
so,
subs were a lot.
yeah, we were really concerned about going down to the minimums. Remember that? And we're like, I have no
it was
idea
a
what's
lot
gonna
more
look like.
competitive than we thought it would be.
Yeah, so when we went to the minimums, I ran 2 sims, and I was like, this is it. Like, these are the sliders that we're starting with, because even people on the minimum at all 66 stuff was actually playing fine. And I think it's like that
Come on, Biz.
it's that relativity thing, right? Like, we don't have like such a wide disparity of like 99s and 66s all together, where it's like it's gonna make it look really bad. So I think at any level, like this product, like this, the sliders are gonna look really good.
Nobody's getting dominated except for my guy, apparently.
I mean, your guy can pass the ball, man.
Yeah, he can still.
Ant out here
Good
flopping
job.
though. Ant is flopping.
He
That's the
is.
second time he's tried to take a charge, and he's like, no, he's got to look at those 10s, man. I got to see what 10s he's running. He's got that take charge on like 90.
Yeah, I'm liking what I see. Like, it doesn't look too like overly like this is crazy.
No, it's
Don't
not too
do
like
this no
glitchy,
more.
right? It's not too like
Yeah,
robotic
and it's
movement. Like, it
like-
looks really smooth.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah,
it
feel
a
looks
lot of
like
the
they're
play-
actually playing like to their levels, and you can tell what certain things people upgraded and stuff. So
for
it
sure.
looked really good.
The basketball IQ of the AI seems a lot higher than some previous 2Ks.
Yeah, I
And there's still been some stupid plays for sure, but
I think they've done a good job. We don't see any more of the
Yeah.
standing 3-pointers from 45 feet. Even short shot clock stuff, we're seeing guys actually attack the hoop and
yeah.
Right.
nice dunk.
Just,
from
just
there.
then we had a
Nice
guy
follow-up.
flying off the screen for a mid-range jumper and then a great putback.
Yeah,
Like,
for
looks-
sure.
looks like it's something you can see.
For sure. I just love seeing all the people. I mean, we've seen now, this is our 4th game, so we've seen 80 players so far. And absolutely, besides the Nick Hill and who's the other one, Ty? Justin Banks. Besides their
Banks,
twinning
yeah.
over here, I mean, there's been so many unique builds and looks, and I absolutely love seeing it. But I want to talk a little bit too about some of the stuff, Gish, that we have planned or already going. Wow, what a block from Josh Young 2.0 there.
Hey,
Yeah, that won't go on my highlight
Boudreaux's
reel.
like, nah.
Yeah. Good thing he's already getting drafted.
Yeah, he's already protected. He don't need to show off. It's like when you're married, you don't need to look good, right?
Exactly.
wow.
Uh,
Y'all don't say that for females, though. Y'all probably just say that for yourselves.
No, man. I mean, my wife
My
looks
wife
good.
would
My
agree
wife
with
looks
that
good all the
comment.
time, man.
Mine looks better than
That's
when I
what you're
married her.
supposed to say.
We married. The goal of a male is to marry up. So I married out of my league for sure.
Oh, look at Pinker.
Nice layup there from Pinkard. And I said this: if we ever do a trivia, Perry Pinkard was the first admitted player ever in GSB. So that is something everybody needs
First
to have on their
submitted,
trivia
and then
radar.
you had the first created in here too, right, Bill?
He was the first created one, yeah.
No.
Nick Hill is like really close behind him though. So
Oh,
2 of the first ones ever. But yeah, I want to talk about some of the stuff we're doing already in process. We have merchandise already in process. Canes is doing our merchandise. Pizzo's actually, that jersey should be coming soon. So I'm excited to see that.
Y'all have no idea how sweet this stuff looks, man. I am so excited to get some of this merch. I've given my kids a preview. I've talked to some of my
Romero.
staff, like, oh, nice play there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of hype about this. Like it is so slick looking. Y'all are gonna be excited to see what we got planned here.
And maybe Nick Hill was the first posted. I'll have to check it, Rusty. One of those 2
Yeah,
was.
he said that.
One of
He
those
said
2
that
was. It was
earlier.
either Pinkard or Hill, and they were really close to each other. I think Pinkard was the first built, but I think he didn't have his other foreman yet, so I think I posted Hill first. But I'll have to check.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch is really sweet. Pizzo's obviously got a sneak peek of it. Gish knows what it looks like. Pizzo's actually his Dallas. It's actually now your city alt, right? So
Yeah, it's the alt jersey.
It's the
that
alt jersey,
nobody's
which
seen
is
yet.
actually way more sweet.
Yes.
We haven't even released those yet, but Pizzo's getting the test jersey that we're testing out with Canes.
I'm jealous.
So I should be getting that pretty soon from him, and then that's going to be on its way to Dallas area for Pizzo soon, so he can frame it. But we're going to have merchandise, fully sublimated jerseys, hoodies, T-shirts, anything you could think of really gear-wise. We're going to have those done by our very own Canes. Just another thing also that we talked about Pizzo with just being the community is like having people on the inside do things like that with, supporting each other and supporting their businesses and their lives outside of the sim sports. And I'm really glad that we could do that with Canes.
Yeah, so am I. And, I play up, having the Dallas jersey and all. Like, I really do love it. But it's even the other stuff that we could potentially get, just regular shirts and stuff. And I mentioned yesterday during the broadcast when I joined y'all, I want to go talk to businesses and just go generally support businesses, just going out around the town. I'm proud to wear my Dallas Flying Stallions gear and, maybe generate some conversations about it. And look, I am not above going and buying Otter gear or
Absolutely.
Memphis Blues gear or Vice City Kings gear. Like I'm all about, I love all the logos and the graphics and the mascots. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a little bit from everybody here.
Libertines wants to sell us traffic signals, so if we need any of those, we'll go to him. That's funny. Yeah, no, I mean the GSB office will have all the jerseys hung up in there, so I'm super excited about that as well. And we're able to support Mears in his journey with TTSN, and as you can see some of their branding on our scoreboard and some of the cuts we have. And we just, when I talk to you guys, and Gish can weigh in on this too, that was my big thing, is I want to support everybody, and it was just the big thing. Community and content was the thing I've been preaching since day one, and you guys can tell everybody that that's not a new thing. It was designed this way.
Yeah, I mean it's not just a concept. It's not just talking points. We want to build that in the community, and I mentioned earlier about we're building an experience here. I mean, that's what it's all about, is just kind of supporting one another as we kind of just hang out together. Even though Rusty wouldn't be caught dead in an Otters jersey.
I could see a bet coming.
I can absolutely see a bet coming as well. I think that's a good call.
Orca swimsuits too. There you
Orca
go.
swimsuits, yes. Yes, there you go. See? It's all about the branding.
That's
You
branding.
can absolutely pull that off.
Absolutely. I think my biggest thing, and it's starting to hit me a little bit, being in the league and seeing the players at least. But when we first tip off with the branding and the new teams, it's really going to hit me. But I think the thing that's going to hit me is, seeing you guys in your gear, and even seeing community. When we reach that point, and I have really big goals for the league, obviously. And I'll be the first one to admit those were really hefty goals, and we're going to reach them because, like I told you, we're not going to fail here. But the thing that'll hit me is when I'm seeing other people wearing gear, and I'm seeing businesses streaming the game during a watch party or something. And that's when I'm really going to feel like we're on the rise in the kind of that spotlight there.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. And that's what I'm looking forward to as well. Just finding other people involved in this community, and going out and just hanging out together, watching these games, and just getting to know one another. Both within the universe, the league universe here, but just outside, and just as we all have our own personal, real lives that are going on. As we get to know each other, just supporting each other a little bit further. And really just being supportive of one another. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped to potentially see some Flying Stallions gear around town here as well.
Yeah, and I think from that standpoint too, it's supporting each other, outside of the game too. I like to learn about your guys' lives, and I ask a lot of questions about your kids, and all that stuff. And
Mitch 2.0.
Josh Young 2.0, yeah. It's a great name. But just learning, and I know about Ty's baking business, and I ask her questions all the time about stuff. And I'm a very personable person in the sense that I like to build relationships. But I think that absolutely when we're able to see each other and hang out with each other, I think it's going to be really cool. And we've talked about when I come to Dallas, at least grabbing a bite or having a drink or something, and so all that stuff's going to be really fun. And the thing that we want to do with traveling around and seeing different cities and bringing people to be able, one, to travel and see different things, and two, to hang out with each other and build the Gold Standard brand around the whole entire world, but also the team brands as well. And I think we're going to be really successful because of the people that we have around us. I think it's testament.
It must be off because I didn't hear it again.
Oh, the buzzer.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's just
buzzer.
really
You're
quiet.
right.
I think it's really
Yeah.
quiet. I gotta fix it or something. But I think that it's the PA. I'll have to check the PA. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to growing the brand as a whole and growing the individual brands, and we want to absolutely make this thing global and reach people in different places. But it starts with the design was to start with me, and I'll give everybody that kind of thought process where that was I wanted to get buy-in from Rylock, and Rylock and I wanted to get buy-in from Gish and Pax, and then we got buy-in from the owners, and kind of Libertines and Brent came on and with that buy-in and came on the admin team. But we really started with a small group, and then the owners brought on their staff to buy in, and I think the way that we designed at Pizzo, I think it's working. I think that now we have 120 strong individuals that are very bought into the product and that are tuning in and being really active.
Yeah, when you first talked to me about your ideas with this, and let everybody know, we were on a chat for about an hour and a half, I think it was, that one night.
Yep.
And I grilled Nighthawk so much with so many questions, just kind of introducing that different perspective. Have you thought about this? Well, what about that? And answers to everything. Like, it had been thoroughly thought through already. And it was just a matter of bringing all the thoughts together and getting it organized. And as we mentioned earlier, it's awesome to see it all come together like we are tonight, and leading up to the draft and everything. But it's also just scratching the surface of some of the things that we've talked about, and a lot of the other ideas that we have out there, and other ideas that are being generated on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So it's just so exciting to see where we're starting today, coming from just an idea a few months ago, and then where it has the opportunity to lead to in the not too distant future.
Yeah, and I think that I brought on a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me in a lot of areas, and I know I own a few businesses, right? And the first thing I learned in business is don't ever think you're the smartest person in the room, and always be willing to learn and ask for help when you need to. And the first thing I did was bring on people that know things better than I do. Right, and I saw value in Pax and how good he is with graphics, and I saw value in Gish and how good he is with analytics and stats, and I saw value in Rylock and how good he is at managing things. And Brent kind of fell into our laps, which was a blessing. But Libertines, I knew the value that he brings with the website and stuff, and then I knew your guys' value, and I knew what you guys can do as owners in your business mind, and I knew I had to have you on as an owner, and even just down to the job, the people that we're bringing on. Like, the biggest thing we wanted to do is let everybody's creative juices just flow, right? Like, I wanted people to be able to express their talents and their hobbies, and and that to come out, and it's coming out, and I'm really enjoying it to an aspect where I'm like, wow, I did not know you were that talented, but I'm glad that you're doing it and having fun with it.
Yeah, and that's also one of the really cool things that I'm seeing as well, is people really leaning into who they are. When you first introduced all this to everyone and introduced the league, announced it, you really called out the role-playing element to this. And so as I'm doing interviews, I'm doing interviews as the owner of the Dallas Flying Stallions. Mm-hmm. I am a professional owner. That is how I'm running my team. And it's just taking what I do on a daily basis with my real life job and my real life career and amplifying it. And I can kind of see that with what other people are doing or how they're building their players or how I see people handling themselves in the league chats. Like you see these different characters coming to life, and it's really people. It's a good steal there.
Yeah.
But it's people taking what they know and really being it. Nice jam there by Young 2.0. But it's as you said, like people, we kind of know each other a little bit already, but it's taking what our strengths are and utilizing it to build something fun here. And it could be part of our characters, or it could be part of something that's, here we go.
Showtime.
But it really is what's bringing this, and I keep calling it a universe. Like this is our own personal basketball universe that we are creating here. And so we need these characters. We want to see these rivalries. Personally, as Pizzo, the owner, I'm seeing way too much hate on the Otters, and I will support my girl Katie on that.
Katie thrives in that environment, though.
Yeah, but well, she knows she's got some support here in Dallas.
Absolutely.
But it is really awesome just to see everybody kind of leaning into who they are, and whether it's a character that they're playing or persona, or if it's just everybody just being themselves. That's cool too.
Yeah, I never want anybody
it
to be
really is
anything
seeing
but
that.
themselves, too.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
like,
so
I'm over here timing out Mac in general chat as we're speaking.
and that's see, it's everybody just being themselves.
Absolutely.
Um,
Well, I think we foster
yeah.
that. We foster that environment too, right? Like, be yourself, be professional, and be appropriate, but be yourself. And
Yeah, they gave him a whole channel.
yeah, like Mac wanted. I mean, we aim to please, but we fostered that, and we're gonna foster those rivalries and that stuff. And you know, like you said, it is a universe, and it might look like a city right now, right? But this thing will grow into an absolute universe. I can guarantee that.
boom for 3. Nice.
They get away from that 3-pointer, I see.
Yeah, and kind of just adding to what y'all were talking about, I was going to share this is from September 1st of last year,
Nice.
when Nighthawk first reached out to me about being an admin for this league, and I know at this point he had already put in I mean, I know you had had the idea for a while, but a couple months of work, I think, by this point already.
About a month, yeah.
And I mean, just some of the words that you called out in this first message, you know, admins who are invested, believing in the product, community buy-in, you know, just you already had that idea. Attention to detail, you know, focused on content.
Timeout.
This was 5 months ago, so
That's when we had nobody, right? So
we fostered that idea from the very beginning.
yeah, I think you had to, and I think the way we designed it by going as slow as we did and making sure we had everything, you know, covered. And Pizzo, like he said, he grilled me on a lot of that stuff and made me think a lot of it. And you know, guys like Coco grill me on things, and you know, they make sure that, you know, because they care and because people want to see something succeed like this. And you know, I'm super grateful for that as well. But I think the way we designed it and how slow we went, and you know, made sure everything was the foundation was set, I think it's going to set us up for a really cool future.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like, when I first started hearing about it, I was like, man, I
When
don't
did you
know
start
if I
hearing
want to
about it,
pay
Ty?
no $50 on subscription. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, I don't know. I already put so much money in all these different sims, and then I heard like, all right, so it's Nighthawk doing it. I'm like, okay, well, I already know like this is gonna be full of content, and you know, graphics are gonna be fire. You got packs in here, and so at that point I was like, all right, I'm sold. Like, I already knew this was gonna be something different. Just top-notch stuff. And then when we start seeing who was an admin and the team owners and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is going to be such a great investment. It's not even an expensive investment at that, compared to what I've spent in other sim leagues. And I was just excited and blown away that it made it easy. Like, $50 was nothing. To invest in something that's going to be really great. and we even we pretty much brought the whole entire Iowa team over here. We were just talking about it, and we were just like, yeah, this is gonna be it. Like we're sold.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what's really cool to hear, Ty, because as Gish called out, it was September 1st, and I just looked myself. It was the beginning of September when we started having these conversations, and all of the work and the effort that went into just getting to that point where, oh, nice follow up there. Well, getting to the point where it was time to announce to everybody, like, this is what's happening, and just seeing the momentum build, like. Y'all could see all the planning that went on behind the scenes to get to that point, and so that's why I talk with so much excitement about what the future is, because there's just so much more going on behind the scenes that, you know, we're really at a point where we're ready to take off and grow.
Yeah, I mean,
He said foul
I don't remember
sliders
when-
gotta go down.
I don't remember when we launched publicly and started talking, but you know, we had been planning for at least 2-3 months already by that time, and
I think that was beginning of November, maybe.
yeah, I mean, we were planning, and even then, like, remember, Yish, I was like, I don't know if I want to launch it. I don't think everything's ready. And,
I think beginning of November is when we started reaching out to owners. I think December was when we opened to the public.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. I couldn't be more happy with what I'm seeing. Even though Mac thinks the foul sliders need to go down. I disagree entirely. But
Nah, I like it because I think it was like what we said in the
nobody's fouled out
beginning
yet.
that
If people were fouling out.
the mentality is what's causing these fouls so far.
My
Yeah.
reply to Matt would be all of the things he just said to me in NSFW chat. So
This is an absolute blowout, guys. We haven't seen one yet. We were due for one. But
yeah, I'm being accused of rigging Team 8 to win, which is weird.
I didn't promote till
Why I would
December.
pick some other
Wire said,
team.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Wire
not
knew my
fault.
plans back in August too. You know, we had talked about that, and you know, he's been really supportive of that as well. So I appreciate him too.
Fun is infinite is in here.
Pax, I did not sabotage your
Pack
You just-
sabotages
Hey,
his own
fellas.
team. Yeah, we've got one of our stats team stars in here.
Yeah,
Fun.
I
is
I got
infinite.
tickets to the front row, and I came in here.
Fun is infinite. Is that what it is? Is that it? We can
Yeah,
need to
that's
clear it up.
correct. You got it right.
Okay. Well, now
Like I
everybody
said,
knows.
like I said in chat, you can either refer to me as fun or fun is infinite. None of this fun is business.
Okay, no, don't leave it as is. Either fun or fun is infinite. You gotta say the whole
Yeah,
thing or just the
infinite.
first word.
Finish the statement or just go on the half and half.
Like Bismack, one word. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, Fun is Infinite, for getting those stats done so quickly.
Of course.
What do you think about the games from a player perspective, not being on a staff or ownership?
From a player perspective, I think they're pretty nifty. They're a good way to show off our early talents, or the beta versions of our builds as we kind of
Yeah.
chalk ourselves up with the coming of the draft and the season pulling on into itself. And overall, it's just pretty fun to have a bunch of us out there.
Yeah, for sure. And we've talked a lot about, like, the game is kind of almost secondary at this point to what we're about. And, you know, I think that's the part that's going to make a really successful sim league, is when the pinnacle of your product is not the game itself, but it's just another part of your product, right? Like,
Yeah, that's how you know that you've really struck gold, that if the sim league itself has like a more palatable universe than your usual generic default sports league.
Yeah, for sure. And that was kind of the design behind it, is yes, the games are awesome and fun, but what do we do outside of that? That is important. So we're going to keep doing that, absolutely. Somebody said that
Speed up.
Team 8 is all alphas, by the way, not beta. No, none of them are betas on Team 8 because they're just absolutely destroying them.
Yeah, this is.
Blame my random number generator. I intentionally did not
Oh!
Bismack's a dang flopper, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
he is. You seen that?
change it. Flopping with a 27-point lead.
What do they teach him in Cambodia, man?
He's so extra. That's typical Bismack for you, so it works
He
out.
had to escape Cambodia, I think, so he learned how to play dead at some point.
I didn't pop it off.
That's so awesome. Well, let's check out some of
Man,
these
what a
highlights
night.
and box scores. Yeah, so fun, man. And like Ty said, like the 10-minute quarters, like they fly. There's so much. I mean, I feel like I didn't even do a full game. So
Well, we did. We were.
You said like the baseline you were aiming for was like half an hour, yeah?
the what?
You said like the baseline you were aiming for was like half an hour, yeah?
For what? For the game length?
Hour
Yeah,
and a
Hour and a
half.
half.
Hour and a half.
Which we pretty much hit. It's been about hour 15, hour 20 tonight, so it's been good. I like the longer quarters for multiple reasons, but and we have a bunch of broadcast teams too that are going to be doing games, and we have a lot of cool stuff coming out. We'll take a look at these box scores real quick. 63% from the line. Both teams suck from three, but last game we actually had a team shoot 45% from three. So
Yeah, neither of these teams can shoot. That's for sure.
yeah, the stat.
Yeah, they're more they're more close range defensive focused teams.
Absolutely.
I mean, you had two guys that's 7'3", 350,
There's
Yeah.
the Giants
trying to
in
make
this
their way
game.
down the
The
court.
battle of the
56
Giants.
points in the paint they almost outscored the other team in the
That's
paint
where
by
the points
themselves.
at.
The
I
defensive
still find
rebounds.
it very
Jesus.
hilarious that my only moment in that game was getting my hands stuck in the rim trying to dunk.
Jim C. Williams is an absolute treasure. Absolutely don't change. He's already one of my favorite.
Oh, of
That's
course,
a league
of course.
favorite right there, early on.
The way
I
he
don't
runs
feel
down the
bad.
court is art. It's just art.
I do not feel bad about underperforming because I am literally a wrestler.
You may get the first. You may get the first sponsorship deal with somebody in this league just because of who you're built.
Sure.
Lovely.
That's when we'll make it. When Jim C. Williams gets sponsored by somebody,
This is a great.
Hey, I'm open for it.
and Jim C.
Anyone,
Williams is doing commercials.
For Bounty, the new lumberjack.
Anyone who happens to be in the chat or in the server, I'm open.
Aladdin Bail Bonds sponsoring Jim C. Williams as their. Oh gosh.
Remember what I said in the interview? Draft the Giant 2023.
There it is. I can't wait to see that campaign.
Yeah, that would be
Hopefully
cool.
it flies somewhere.
Jim C. Williams will be climbing down from his beanstalk to make an appearance here soon. Let's take a look at some of these stats. Josh 2.0, another fantastic name. 20 points in that game. Bismack, the one-name wonder, with 17, 5, and 3. Bobby Bricks didn't brick much at all, Ty. 14 points, 5 rebounds.
No.
Sada Baby, 8 and 6.
Bricks did brick that 1 3-pointer.
He only shot one, though. And I think that's going to be a staple of his game is shoot 1 3-pointer, miss it
Brick
really
it.
bad,
Yeah.
and then just be really good from everywhere else. I love that.
At the end of the season, he's gonna be like 1 of 14 from 3.
Yeah, and the one, and we're gonna replay the one forever. It's gonna be like
It'll probably
it's
be-
gonna be like Sawyer Stern in the 3-point contest. 6-7 for Ant Thomas. There's this New York's got themselves a point guard right there. 7 assists, 2 steals. Cherry Jello with 6 points, 3 assists, 2 steals.
Not looking as good as Lemon or Lamone. Sorry. Yeah, he's
He's a good-looking dude. That is
About as good as Lamont's sophomore
that
year,
line's
maybe.
not looking as good.
Lamont's
I'm used
sophomore
to
and senior year were actually both really good.
I'm used to 20 points from a Jello.
Yeah.
He
He'll
was
get
struggling
there.
in the beginning. He picked up
Yeah, he
got
had some
them
fouls early.
steals.
Appleby Evans had 13 boards. That's another Ohio Shaman staff member. Dub Stern in Orca, 5 points. Rowdy Rhodes, draft eligible player, 4 and 3. Bam Bam Hayes, San Antonio.
Love
Rams
that name.
corner.
He just did a little everything.
Yeah, that's nice. Bam Bam,
Probably one of my favorite names, Bam Bam Hayes.
fantastic name, and he's got a fantastic look as well. Let's take another look at his face. The build is great.
Yeah, it's a solid look.
That's a solid look.
It's only because of that blonde hair. You and this blonde
I-
hair up there.
Blonde
I
hair,
keep
blonde
telling all the Giants that have been in the combine, dude, you should do wrestling stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys might make it. Ty runs a UFC league, so you guys might need to make an appearance in the heavyweight division over there. Justin Banks, 17 points,
We'll
4
see.
rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Go ahead.
We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I can call up the owner of Steelboat Wrestling and we could get something on.
Absolutely, for sure. Rashadi Ish. Wouldn't that be crazy if one day there was just Jim the Giant C. Williams wrestler somewhere in real life? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Rashadi Ish, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Michael Bryston, the third, the built Bryston now, 9 points, 2 assists. Romero, another Giant, your fellow Giant there, 8 and 10. Perry Pinkard with 6 points. Prophet with 4 and 5. Nick Hill, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Nice game from him.
Rough shooting that though. 1 for 11, 0 of 5.
Yeah, that won't happen too often, hopefully.
Yeah, rough start for our first ever player.
Luke Bedreau, 3 points, 3
1 of
assists,
6
1 rebound.
free throw line.
Bedreau's got to get his free throws up, Pizzo.
Yeah, obviously something to work on there.
Albert Graza doing pretty much the pinnacle and ceiling of what he's capable of at 2 and 3 there. 1 for 4. Jim C. Williams, 0 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1,000,001 fans in this game, and that's what matters. Is Jim C. Williams has fans all over the world now. You know what? You're a minus 17 on the court, but you're a plus 1,000 in the fan category. I'll give you that.
Lovely. Glad to hear it. Also, I find it very funny that I got a lot of steals in this game, even though I'm more centered towards blocks.
Well, you're stealing hearts too. All right, it's too
Man, so much praise, so much love here.
That's what we do here, Jim. That's what we do here. Fun is infinite. We're just crazy. We just praise each other. All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Fun is infinite. Appreciate you stopping by, Pizzo.
Of course.
Always an honor stopping by with Dallas, and anytime you wanna be on, and we'll have you on. Gish, we appreciate you, my fellow admin. And Ty, as always, one of our star broadcasters. I appreciate you hanging out. Anybody got any final words?
Tomorrow is the 3rd.
Yeah,
got
we
Team
got
4,
new
Team
teams
7,
playing.
Team 1, Team 11.
So
Yeah.
tomorrow's games will be at what time did I say?
2 and 3:30 Eastern.
What time?
2 and 3:30 Eastern.
I think I need to start 30 minutes earlier because I have to coach the freshman team tomorrow because our freshman coach had to leave town. So I think we're going to start at 1:30 tomorrow Eastern. It'll be a little earlier of a scene, but we'll make it work. So we'll go back to back 1:30 and 3 tomorrow Eastern. And then next week we'll have a schedule out soon we're streaming 5 days next week, I think. So we'll have that out as well.
We still got to wait another couple of days for Team 12. Let's go.
Yep. Got the debuts of 7 and 11 tomorrow, and then 10 and 12 on Monday.
How many games?
Just 2 each day.
I'm terrible at math. That's 6 games total. That's
6.
12. That's 12 teams, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're alternating divisions.
Or what?
We're alternating divisions. So we'll see 1 and 4 again tomorrow, and then they'll be done.
Okay. Well, that works for me.
Man, you should have played us.
All good.
Switch them out.
We'll make that's the long-awaited of your team. It'll be fun.
With 3 team divisions, I had to be a little creative.
Yeah, it was a little tough, but 5 days next week, and then a few days the following week, and then we're at the draft, fellas and Ty. So, ladies and fellas,
fellas and Ty.
I gotta give you your spotlight there.
All right. Us girls is gonna rule this.
Gentlemen,
we do have some females in this league. There's some very, very talented females that I'm very proud of. So,
Ty, you need to make a podcast with some of the guys that's just called Fellas and Ty.
Right.
No,
like,
I just
all right,
I
ladies,
gave you some.
Unironically, just name it Gentlemen and Ty.
Yes. Yes. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping in. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. 2 more games tomorrow. Get your progressions in if you have not yet. That opened today. So make sure you're getting that in. If you haven't got your tendencies and signatures in, make sure you do that as well. We want to make sure that's all done by the draft so that everybody is made and going. So,
Toy then popped in.
Toy's in here. Toy can talk for a second. Toy, what's up?
How we living, my family?
We are living, my man. How you doing?
I just got my ass kicked by Rylock in some Magic the Gathering. I'm not happy.
Rylock will do that to you.
Oh, he's awful.
He'll do that to you. He sandbags the hell out of that game for sure.
Mhm.
So what's up, man? How's everything going for you?
It's been pretty good, man. It's exciting. It's so fun to be back on the team with Rusty again, to be finally working with Glass for the first time, to get to know Kaios. Like, it's been really fun building this draft board, and I'm really thrilled on it.
Absolutely. What do you guys got going on out in Ohio?
Well, we're just trying to get Scout Mitchell in every round. We're hoping to draft him 6 times.
That's nice. Just take them all to every
I think
round.
it'll be good. I think it'll be good. That's the goal right now.
I love that for sure, for sure. What do you want people to know about Ohio and kind of the brand and what you guys are building out there in Columbus?
So I've never had the opportunity to help contribute to building an identity. I joined PAX in Georgetown, and I helped continue the culture he put in place there.
Right.
I joined Connor in Miami, and I helped contribute to that culture. But it's really cool to start something at the ground floor, and we're going with a lot of different things. It's going to be a different team than you're going to see. It's not going to be the same kind of fun appeal of a Memphis, but I think the Shaman is going to be a real fun franchise to watch develop.
Yeah, I think that one of my favorite things about this league is just the different brands and identities that are being built, and how you guys are doing. You guys are all doing such a good job of fostering that environment and what you guys want to build. But Shaman have some of my favorite uniforms for sure. I can't wait for people to see them with the detail on them. And then
they are nice, man.
The city alts are awesome too. I can't wait to. I got 2 more city alts to actually finish, and then we're gonna reveal all those too.
Yeah, we haven't seen those yet, so we all get to see a new uniform for the rest of the league. Oh,
yeah. The city alts will come out closer to the season, probably after the draft, honestly. But it'll be a nice little reveal.
Maybe we could have, like, when people are doing some kind of graphic with their first round picks, we can have them in a city alt jersey.
Yeah, or when we release them, have something like you said, like their first round pick, reveal it to be the person to reveal them. That's a really good idea. Really good idea. But yeah, man. And I've known you for a while. I mean, we've had a lot of really good conversations, and you were somebody I absolutely wanted here, and obviously your relationship with Rylock is something that we wanted. So I appreciate you taking on the task of being in ownership, and you've done a really good job with the team over in Oakland or in Ohio so far.
So my move is always to take a smaller portion of the burden.
Yeah. So
assistant head coach, and now I'm a third owner. Yeah. So that's exactly in my wheelhouse.
Absolutely. I feel you there. It's a fun group. I've known Glass for a long time as well. Glass coached me at Michigan State in the CSBA. So and obviously Rusty's been around forever too. So everybody on ownership has been so good. You guys are. I mean, you've seen. All the owners around the league. What are your thoughts about, just how everybody's doing?
Everybody's doing a great job except for Michigan. Fuck Michigan. We don't play with that. But no, it's fun, man. It's really exciting. Every time something gets brought up in the owners channel and we're discussing changes to the league, it's all respectful. It's been really a pleasant experience.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, and it's probably the last thing we'll say, but a lot of people see, what was that?
Jesus.
Oh no.
What happened?
Michigan in here.
Michigan is going in.
We got a Michigan Ohio rivalry already. Sada's in here.
This is a pretty stacked post game.
Yeah, I might have to.
Sorry, I was fresh out the shower. I was tuning into the game in the shower, and I heard something with "fuck Michigan" or something like that.
We just like to have programs that are, have integrity and that can win. We already got our first winless program in Michigan, the Killer Bees. Stingless Bees.
Wrong sport then you got there, because the Killer Bees over here in Michigan, we might be a little low key, but we got some things cooking up over here.
Hope you enjoy selecting the honey. And then you can bring honey in to give to your fans. Hopefully they'll keep showing up. But
A rivalry
Besides
is
that.
born. I love it. Let's go. When's that game?
Just
We gotta get
circle
the
that one
schedule.
every. Yeah. What's a shaman? You know,
Oh,
can I get
man.
a
This is gonna be one
urban
of the best
dictionary
rivalries
definition?
around.
Wait,
Let's
if
get an
your
Urban
team is
Dictionary
the
for
Killer
Scott.
Bees, then wouldn't bringing the fans honey endanger them?
That's hey, listen, man.
That's
Just
what
the fact
bees
that
will
they're
work
showing
for.
up, they're in
Hard
danger
workers.
of a bored fucking night, wasting their time getting blown out 30
He's
points.
still streaming, right?
All right. Toy and Dickie, can we schedule a podcast with you both on there?
We need it.
Most
Me and
definitely.
Dickie can co-host one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm there.
I love that. Well, let's do that. Let's get that together because we got to get the hell out of this show right now. But we're going to schedule another one with you two because I love this rivalry already. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Toy, thanks for hopping in, talking about Ohio a little more. We've had all of your staff in here, which has been awesome. Dickie, do you want to say anything about Michigan before we leave besides anything in response to Ohio? Anything else?
Michigan is watching. We're in the shadows watching. We definitely been really impressed with what we've seen so far in these matchups and in these games. As these prospects go up the boards and whatnot for each team, and we know what holes we have to fill. We got the third pick, so we got potential to get a star player to come in and be that guy from the jump. So we got our eyes on a couple guys, and this staff we have here is no rookies to this. So
Absolutely.
big things coming.
Absolutely. And just so you know, Libertines has already named your podcast the Toy Dicks Podcast. So we'll definitely have that coming up. But everybody else, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We got to get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more games. This goes
Bye-bye, everyone. Remember, Friday in California.
All right. We'll see you guys later. It's too much.